And now,
what's up, everybody? It's NiceGuyAndy podcast, and we have a special Sunday show. We have a special local wrestling superstar Kris Krow in the building.
undeniable.
Yes, appreciate having me.
And as always, we got Superfly Jahn over there.
What's up? What's up?
And special guest referee Sean Johns in the house.
Now you're being nice to me. Last time I was a referee, I got fired.
Oh, yeah, you'll probably get fired today, too.
Well, shit.
Y'all know how I do. I'll just fire y'all's asses
So
anytime.
you're gonna fire him for actually doing his job?
I'll
for
fire
Kris?
you, too, Johnny. Just watch your mouth.
I'll take all your jobs. I don't care.
Yeah, watch
fine.
your mouth. Is this yours or mine? That's mine. I think.
yours,
Yeah, I think I was sitting over there before you got here. Kris, how you doing, buddy?
Oh man, dude, I'm feeling good.
Hell yeah. You up here for the Thriller Parade today?
No, but I heard a certain little party man Cam was a part of it.
Yeah. He's the lead dance man in the he's the lead Michael Jackson in the Thriller Parade here in Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh man, I might have to show up just to kick his ass.
Yeah.
Again.
Oh, that would be great to kick his ass in the middle of the
Hell yeah.
in the middle of the street. That'd be awesome.
As Michael Jackson, yeah, I gotta do it.
And just think, at least he got that Werecat uniform to hide his face.
Exactly, man. Look,
He does need to hide his face a little bit.
Period.
and he started doing that under the mask gimmick right there.
Yeah, he does.
At least then, no one will recognize his embarrassment.
We finally got you in the studio, man. We've been trying to get you in here forever, haven't we?
Yeah, it feels like I think about a year now.
Hell yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. So what's been going on with you?
Man, just trying to make moves, trying to get all over the place with the bookings and stuff, man.
Yeah, you're everywhere.
Oh, dude, I'm trying to be.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just had a show up in Monticello last night. That was a pretty good little show.
You're one of the main guys here in Kentucky. I mean, you wrestled down in Tennessee too, down there, right?
Yeah, man. Taking Tennessee over. I'm taking Kentucky over. Making my way with Georgia.
Okay.
I just did a show in Pennsylvania a few weeks ago. That was pretty cool, little experience.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man. Just trying to make moves right now.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let everybody know where you where'd you train, how long you been in the business, you know, some stuff about you, the background stuff about you. People want to know like that kind of stuff about you. They see you in the wrestling ring, they see you out, but people want to know who you actually really are. Your fans, they want to
Yeah, man. So I've been wrestling for about 5 years now. This month actually makes 5 years. Just kind of training different little places, kind of like after shows and stuff, learning the kind of basics and taking all the knowledge in from different people over the different shows, different states.
Who's your main trainer? Who'd you like start out with?
Hoodridge.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Hoodridge.
But yeah, trained for about 6 months, 7 months, something like that.
Yeah.
Made my debut. Then it's just been history since then.
Did he have a school, or you just got hooked up with him and he trained you?
Yeah, just hooked up with him.
Yeah. So you pretty much self-trained, really, right?
Yeah, self-trained.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure.
I
I
wouldn't
mean,
have,
to be self-trained, you're fucking amazing in the damn ring, dude.
yeah,
Hey, I appreciate that, man.
I wouldn't have known that he was wrestling for 5 years. I thought that he was wrestling longer than that.
Really? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man, a lot of people think that, especially for the last, 12 months, where the style I've been doing and all the bookings I've been doing, everybody thinks it's, oh, you got like 10 years under your belt. Nah,
Yeah.
just this 5.
And you got one hell of a spear, too.
Hey, man.
Oh man, and that swanton bomb you do
Yes.
is like amazing. Now, like last one on the 11th, was it the 11th or the 12th? The 12th of October in Richmond. You put Adrian Alexander swanton bombed him through the table
It
there.
was Tony Corral.
Yeah, it was
Oh, Tony Corral. Tony Corral. Okay.
Yeah, man. Guess the Swantons became one of my signatures, man. But in those kind of matches, I have a little bit more freedom with so many ideas in my head, and that's definitely one of them I wanted to do. I was like, I always wanted to hit some crazy move and just have that holy shit moment to
Exactly.
the fans. So that's what I got out of it. So it all worked out.
And it's done a hell of a job because you got fans. No matter what people say, you're undeniable.
Yes, sir.
And the people know it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. To anybody that actually is in this business and it takes this whole sport very serious, you'll get to a point where you'll adapt to where you feel like it's time for a change. It's time for change your entrance up, trying to change your moves up, whatever. And that's how I kind of felt about it 10 months to a year ago with the No Regrets moniker. I just got to a point where I felt stale with the crowd with it. kind of ran its course, you can say.
Yeah.
But I also felt like I was kind of being denied on some opportunities and chances. So I'm like, man, I had to come up with something to kind of change my whole deal. So I'm like, man, I'm tired of being denied, but so fuck it. I might as well just go by undeniable. Let's change it all. Let's change the entrance up. I used to come out to rock and metal, but I changed it to rap. That kind of just fits me more.
Yeah.
And what you see in the ring is just like a amped up version of who you see right now. But yeah, that's where the name Undeniable came from. It's just been a whole new Kris Krow, you could say, for the last 12 months. It's been a hell of
Exactly.
a ride.
And Zodiac should have known. He's the reason why the match went with the way it did, and you just letting him know, hey, this ain't on me, this on you.
Let's talk about that, because I've been hearing a lot about Zodi for the last week. I thought I could forgive Zodi. I thought I could forget the whole, 6 months we was at each other's throat up in New South. We was at each other's throat so bad that we was ready to kill each other.
Exactly.
But, a year rolled by, and I thought I could forgive, maybe have a change of heart, you can say. But no, after Zodi cost us the match, it wasn't even me. He's the one who got pinned in the match.
Okay.
After I busted my ass off, I destroyed my body in that match for the team.
Yep.
He lost it. So that brought back so many emotions and everything, and honestly, I don't have any regrets about what I did to Zodi. He should have knew better. There was going to be a chance that was going to happen. But he wants to be the hero. He wants to be that hero everyone thinks he is, but he's not. He should have realized this is a different Kris Krow nowadays than what he dealt with back in the day. So
exactly.
Zodi's going to learn the same lesson he learned a year ago. I'm undeniable. He can't touch me inside or out the ring. And if he has the balls, he might even show up next month at EWA, and let's see what he's really about.
Exactly. Because we're going to see that match one way or another.
Oh, yeah.
If he's got the balls, it's going to happen.
Yeah. And, hey, consider it right here. Zodiac the Mystic, Kris Krow's calling your ass out. Face me in that ring. And guess what? If you really think about it, I've beaten you almost every single time we faced each other. You've never beaten me, really. So
Hey,
let's
you're
see
right.
what you got.
That's true.
I'm just now remembering that. That's true.
Yes.
You've always beaten him. He's never beaten you once.
Let's see, what was it, the 3 or 4 matches we had in New South? He always ended on his back. 1, 2, 3. Facing
That's
up at the
true.
winner. You're undeniable, Kris Krow. So it's not going to be any different now, especially now. I'm on a whole different level than I was a year ago.
Exactly. He's not used to this new and improved Kris Krow.
No, he's not.
He only knew you back then. Now he's facing a whole nother breed.
Yes, sir.
And who would you say would be someone that you want to lock horns with in the near future?
In the near future, man. I will say there's a lot of people on my hit list, you can say. But I think the one, I don't know if you guys heard of him or not, but Blake Christian, he's been on my radar for a little bit.
I've heard him.
And he's just more my style, the fast pace, let's go, go, go. But he's been on my list for a while. I've always wanted to lock horns with him. Met him a few years ago, but he's been killing it on the super indies. So yeah, man, I think he's the one I would love to lock up with one of these days. For
That
sure.
would be a hell of a match too.
That really would.
Oh yeah.
That's something that I look forward to seeing if it happens.
Oh yeah, man, and hell, I'll say right now, even with Zodi, I want to lock up with him again. He claims he's all this big bad, he's a monster and all, but like I said, 3 or 4 times we've already faced each other. I haven't seen nothing spectacular. I'm still waiting.
And that's going to be a hell of a match when it does happen, if it happens
If it
next month.
happens. Yes,
That
sir.
all depends on what Zodiac's answer is going to be. Because now that he's gotten his first taste of who undeniable Kris Krow is, I'm starting to think that maybe he's got a little bit of fear into his heart. Because now he's like, oh man, this ain't the Kris Krow that I fought before.
No, man, and see, that's the thing. I saw the face of Zodi when I speared him. Not once, but twice.
Yeah.
And guess what? It didn't seem like he was pissed. It doesn't seem like he was mad and he's ready to get revenge. No. It just seemed like he was crying under that little stupid mask of his. It's all he was. He was
That is a
crying.
stupid mask he has on.
It is. Every single one of them.
Yeah. Every
Especially-
stupid mask.
Especially the one I stole a year ago, and he still hasn't gotten it back.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Stupid mask.
You know, I thought that he would have tried to come back for that mask, but I guess he got too scared of you.
Yeah,
He's like, nah, I don't want to risk that.
Does that picture
Because
on
that's
the wall
weird.
trigger you? Because I can take it down.
Oh man, dude, I will take a piss on that picture.
Zodiac was our first Nice Guy Andy podcast champion. You know,
And what happened? He lost.
He beat 9 people in the ring to capture
the
that
battle
belt.
royale.
The battle
20
royale itself.
And he defended
Himself.
26 times, so they say. But then one guy, Adrian Alexander, beat him so easily out of those 26 title reigns. Defenses.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? Was he a paper champion? I rest my case.
He was a pretty good champion.
Allegedly. We
Allegedly.
didn't see nothing impressive from him. Remember, this guy was holding our title going around, but then when he gets stood across from that man right there, you know what happened?
Oh no,
Zodiac got propped down.
It's surprised that you didn't you didn't win that championship from him when he had it, because you guys were was that after I guess y'all's little feud was after he lost the belt. Oh, okay. You were still with Hoodrich in that tag team that y'all were called.
Colorblind.
What colorblind?
Yeah.
With the snakes. Tell us about the snakes. Like, how did you like when y'all were doing the whole snake gimmick? Did you feel comfortable with the snakes, or
Yeah,
because
man.
they were his snakes, right?
Yeah. No, there's really no fear in them.
There's no fear in you at all.
Not
I see.
at all.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And that's the thing. Where me and Zodi kind of started off, it was kind of starting off with the colorblind deal.
Yeah.
That's definitely a chapter I closed before I started
Yep.
the whole new era of Undeniable.
Yeah.
Uh,
You
and
and Hoodrich had a little beef, and we're not don't want to talk about that unless you want to, but we don't need to talk about that. But then you turned to a singles competitor. You was tag teaming. You've been wrestling 5 years. You was tag teaming how long? 3, 4 years.
Let's see. So a lot of people don't know I started out as actually a little singles wrestler. Then I went into the tag team deal for about 2 strong years.
Did you you started out with Hoodrich, and then he trained you. You started out as a singles guy, right?
Yep.
And then you got to where you was so good that Hoodrich wanted you to be his tag team champion. Tag team partner, right?
Mhm.
You guys were tag champions just about everywhere y'all went, right?
Almost, yep, man.
Yeah. And then you and him had y'all's beef. It's time that the student outsurpassed the master. So you left and you started doing your own thing over at New South Wrestling.
For sure.
Had a big beef with Zodiac. You beat Cam up several times at New South Wrestling.
He shouldn't have put the man's jacket on.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't put a man's jacket on.
No, man.
Kris Krow didn't hand that to him and say, "Here, put my jacket on." No, he put that on himself. Kris Krow was just responding in kind.
Yeah.
And you've been you started out wrestling in Tennessee. You live in Tennessee now.
Yep. Live up in Nashville right now. Started in Tennessee. I think my debut match was actually in West Virginia. Did something up there. Then, for the first probably about 10, 15 matches up in Tennessee. Then now it's last year's has been trying to get different states up in there, like Pennsylvania, Kentucky.
As
Georgia.
we've been watching you've gotten your stature's gotten big. You've been
Yep.
you're in the gym quite a bit. It looks like.
Yes, sir. That's one thing that's been always kind of big with me, man. For especially the last couple of years, is like, if you're gonna be in this business, look like it. I'm like, man, if you're gonna have that look, if you want that big opportunity, you gotta have the look.
Does that come natural to you, like being in the gym? Was you a football player in high school or anything?
No, actually, a lot of people think that they think of basketball, football, or even wrestling.
Yeah.
But no, I was just big into working out, and it wasn't until like 2020 where I started kind of just getting all the muscle on, the weight and everything. And since then, it's just kind of been an obsession.
Is there any inner pointers or anything that you can tell the guys that are out there that want to get, like, a lot of people can't bulk up like you've been bulking up. It's hard for people to put on weight and put on muscle. Have you got any pointers for them?
Yeah, I'll definitely say, man, the one thing is consistency. I've seen so many people, man, they started out strong, but then they just ended up quitting, couple weeks later, a month later, because it's too hard or whatever. But
yeah.
definitely consistency is the key. Your diet, of course, too. But yeah,
Diet like what? Like a lot of you put in a lot of calories, you put in a lot of protein.
Yeah, man. So I'm on a little bit of a deficit right now, but usually I'm around 3,200, 3,400 calories a day.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, that's a lot.
And that's just to maintain right now.
Is that clean eating, or is that just like eating anything you want to eat?
Man, most of the time it's cleaner eating. I usually do my own cooking, meal prepping, and everything, but sometimes, you got to cheat a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
So usually my go-to cheat meals are like Taco Bell or something, just to kind of get something dirty in me. But
yeah.
for the most part, clean, man.
Yeah. Stay away from a lot of sugar, or what do you sugar? You're just
Yeah, surprisingly, I tried to, but lately, for the last month, I just had a huge sugar tooth.
yeah. Me too.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, it's incredible. I'll drop some. I'm a big guy. I drop some weight, and then like freaking all of a sudden I'm just sugar rushing, and I'm fucking putting it back on.
Yes, sir. I think my big thing now is cookies for some reason.
You do a lot of cardio.
Yeah, I do cardio about 4 times out of the week, usually 30 to 35 minutes.
Treadmill.
Yeah,
elliptical?
treadmill.
Heck yeah.
Once in a while, Stairmaster, but
So you're jogging, just running.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Especially in this business, you'll hear the saying all the time is ring cardio and gym cardio is way two different things.
Yeah.
You can run for 30 minutes all you want, but when you get in that ring, you can easily get gassed out with it.
How do you do that? How do you offset the ring? How do you get the ring cardio for the people out here that don't know how to get that?
Yeah, man. So a lot of people don't understand. Like it's called a high intensity interval training. So it's pretty much HIIT. You do like sled pushes, supersetted with jump roping, supersetted with burpees. If you can do 3 or 4 different cardio things in a row without stopping, then take a minute of rest and do it again for a couple more rounds. It's different motions and not on a treadmill jogging the whole time. It's going to kind of play into what you do in the ring, getting up and down, jumping up and over. It kind of just replicates that a little bit.
Yes, some of these guys don't get it. Some of these guys don't get that. You see them in there, and you'll be watching them, and they can't go more than 5 minutes because they're blown up.
Exactly, man. And that's the things, like, I'll face guys where, God, they push me to my limit almost.
Yeah.
And their cardio's just on A1. But then there's guys I faced that's gassed out within the first.
Who you in there that's on your par with the cardio?
With the cardio, man, I would say the top 2 people right now I can think of is Toby Farley and who's else? Oh, man. Damn, I can't remember his name, but there's another guy that I faced up in Memphis, and dude, he was pushing me to my point where I was ready to just say,
Really? Man, big guy?
No, it's usually the smaller guys.
Smaller guys
which I love facing the smaller guys just because they can actually keep up with me and stuff like that. Gives me more of a challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a couple little guys that's pushed me. I'm like, okay, hold up.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I would say one of the bigger guys that can keep up with me and just ready to go. It can either be hard on strikes, it can be speed, whatever. But yeah, Toby Farley's one of them for sure.
How about Zodiac in there?
Zodiac.
He's a big guy.
He's a very.
He outweighs you about what? 50 pounds at least?
50 pounds at least. I would say Zodiac, man, he is one of the hardest hitting dudes I've ever been in the ring with.
What's his cardio like in there?
Surprisingly, I will say this, even though I don't like his ass.
Yeah.
For a bigger dude.
Well, you got to respect him. You don't have to like him, but you get respect.
For a bigger dude, this dude can go for 25 minutes easily.
He's so fast in the ring when you watch him, man. You are amazing in the ring. He is like he's pretty fast too.
Yeah, I remember the first time I faced him. I think it was at New South. Man, his cardio was just surprising me. I'm like,
yeah. You wouldn't think the way that how big he is. Exactly. You wouldn't think that he's got the cardio that he has, but you can tell that he does. He doesn't even look like he's winded in there.
No, man. There was I think it was one of our matches. We was pushing about the 15-minute mark.
Yeah. And
he's just not breathing at all. Like he's just not gassed out or anything. I'm like, okay. And
what do you think about that guy, Party Man Cam? He looks like he's pregnant right now. What's up with him?
Yeah, man, that dude is. something else, man.
His in-ring cardio's shit, right?
Fucking shit. Shit. That's the thing, man. Even when I was beating his ass.
Dude, he's a hell of a dancer, though. Like I said tonight, he's going to be at the Michael Jackson downtown, the Michael Jackson thing. He's going to be the head Michael Jackson.
Who'd he pay to get that role?
He had to blow somebody, I guess. But
Whoa, hey now.
Yeah, it
Johnny
wasn't paying
said-
nobody. It was blowing somebody.
That's the only way.
Okay.
yeah.
Because
He had the.
He don't get it, does he? He don't get the whole working out thing, does he?
No, it doesn't look like it. He eats all these Twinkies and cupcakes, but man, he just does not understand the cardio.
We should nickname him Party Cupcake,
Party Twinkie.
Party Man Cupcake.
Party man cupcake. That could stick.
Yeah,
Cupcake Cam.
Cupcake.
That's a
Cam
good
is
one, too.
Well, I know Cam's gonna tune in sooner or later after he gets done with his little dancing, but for right now, I hope Cam gets hit by a car.
Oh, man.
I'd love for you to go down there and just beat the hell out of him in the middle of the road.
Oh, dude, I'm seriously thinking about it.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
When's that little parade end?
It's down on Main Street tonight. It's tonight at it starts at like 4, but I think he's going to be whenever the dark hits. I think about 7, 8, he'll be dancing down there.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, I remember that time. I might have to go make a visit to Cam.
Yeah, spear him in the middle of the Main Street down there. That'd be
Exactly.
awesome. That'd be incredible.
He'd get taken out because for some reason he's the one that's got beef with you.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, he started it.
Look,
I think
man.
it's jealousy. I think it's what it is.
I think it is, but here's the thing. He started with it, about a little bit over a year ago by putting my ring vest on. When he's the ring guy, it's supposed to take it back to my bags and my luggage. He wants to put it on, but then I look like the bad guy when I beat his ass.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You just can't put a guy. You're not a bad guy. Man.
No,
you're not.
man.
You're not. You're just misunderstood by a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people just misunderstand you.
Yeah, part man Cam was the bad guy.
Yeah.
Who puts another man's jacket on?
It's like putting on another man's underwear or something.
Exactly.
Like riding on another man's motorcycle or sitting on another man's car or stepping on your shoes.
So
you don't do stuff like that.
So you get it, Andy.
Yeah.
Cam doesn't.
Cam don't get much of anything, I don't think.
He's got like the brain of a 13-year-old.
And he keeps saying, "I'm going to get Kris Krow." Yeah, we've seen you two at shows. He's not tried.
And
I mean,
you know, if
to
he would
his
just
credit, he's not tried to get a second hand on.
if he would just grab one of your belt loops and learn from you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I offered this kid so much, I was like, hey, I can help you out. And this is before he put my vest on. That's the
Yeah.
crazy part. He came, respected me, shook my hand, everything. Yeah, I'm trying to get into business. Can you give me a little advice? Blah, blah, blah. But then he wants to turn around, put my vest on, and call me the bad guy after I beat his ass.
Yeah.
You were just teaching him a lesson he needed to learn.
Exactly.
Tough love, tough.
I mean,
tough
his
teacher.
job was to be the ring guy that takes the jackets to the back, not to get on the apron and right after you hand it to him, suddenly put it on and then stare at you like, huh, I'm wearing your jacket.
Yeah.
He started that.
We got a comment on the chat from Robert Morrow. Sorry, Robert, if I mispronounced your last name, brother. Says Cam's not even remotely any competition to you, Kris, which we're stating obvious. He's saying he's appreciated your growth in the gym and everything lately, your transformation from what you were. I mean, you were jacked before, so but I guess he's mentioning you've gotten more jacked.
I consider you at the top of the Kentucky wrestling scene. I mean, we don't
He's
even
everywhere.
we don't really cover the Tennessee wrestling scene, but you're definitely at the top of this scene. I mean, you're right up there with
yeah.
like Marty Clay and all those guys, Kyle Maggard and all those guys that are really staples of this wrestling. Zodiac right up there at the top,
And that's another great match between you and Marty Clay. Because you got Marty Clay from Lost Creek wanting to take on undeniable Kris Krow. I could see that being a long-standing feud right there.
So I'll kind of revert back to this. But that's another guy, Marty Clay and Brendan Wolf. Those are the two guys.
Yeah, Brandon
I
Wolf's
can think
incredible
of.
in the ring.
Those are the guys that can almost push me to my limit and give me some of the best matches I've ever had.
Adrian Alexander's right up there too, right?
Adrian, hell, the last 5-6 months I've dealt with him and Tony Corral. People don't get enough, appreciation for Adrian.
Yeah.
He can go.
He can
Exactly.
deliver.
Yeah. And Tony's underrated.
Oh, he's very underrated.
He's a fucking scary guy, man. Anytime I ever talk to him, he scares the shit out of me. I don't know what
mean,
it is.
he
He's
is.
just like that fucking uncle that you don't fuck with.
Exactly, man. But dude, if you saw him like in the back, man, he's just always in his own
Yeah.
zone, man.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, some people are like that. Just kind of stick to themselves.
Almost like he's got some fucking, like, some deep down, like, his dad beat him or something. I don't know. He's got some kind of, like, fucking
He got that
demons running around.
mentality.
He's got some of his demons running around in his head. You like, that
Yeah.
dude is fucking psycho right there.
Yeah, he was too psycho when Kris Krow put him through that table, though.
No. He, I think you better watch out for that guy. You know, he's a sneaky fella. He carries like chains, and he'll hit you from
Oh,
behind. You know,
he knows very well because that's where this whole start was. AJ Alexander, and then Tony Krow comes out there and they join forces and been picking fights with Kris Krow ever since.
Yeah, those guys are crazy.
Yeah, man. I would say. I think that for a while I was taking the feedback from guys and saying, hey man, you're really good. You're making your way up there. But I think I've gotten to a point in my career where if you've even watched like during my entrance, I've always say the best has arrived. I really mean that. I think I am at the top of the list. I think I'm at the top of my game. I think I'm the best to ever step foot in the ring at any show.
Yeah.
And that's not being cocky. That just means I can back it up any day of the week.
I think the only reason you don't have a championship right now yet.
Right now, let's see. I'm the tag champ with Eric Porter at AMW.
Okay. That's right. You're a part of that faction down there, right?
Yeah, man. I'm up there with them. Surprisingly, I'm still the new South Upstart heavyweight champ.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let's see, man. I'm an undisputed champion at a promotion called Intense Championship Action or ICWA. It's up in somewhere in Tennessee, but I got 2 of their belts. We unified them.
Uh-huh.
The unified champion. So right now, technically, I'm holding 4 different titles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want you to have that. I want you to have that EWA title, that or that Appalachian Mountain Wrestling title.
It's funny you say that because my eyes are very set on more gold, especially at EWA. And if I have to go through Zodi to get to that little opportunity, then so be it.
Yeah.
But EWA is on my list, right at the top of it.
I think Clayton Cannon should keep his eyes on you because
Clayton Cannon needs to watch out.
Everybody needs to keep their eyes.
Because
on
everybody's, there's a lot of people over there that can take that belt from him. Berto, you, Marty Clay, Adrian's over there, Tony Corral's over there. Like, you got everybody over there.
And I'll say that right now. I'll put it on the record. I don't care who you are. I don't care how big and bad you think you are. EWA, AMW, TCW, New South, when it comes back around,
UCW.
UCW, I don't care who you are. I'm running through the whole roster until I'm at the very top of every place. Holding
Yes.
all the gold. I have all the glory. I'm coming for it all.
Yeah.
And that's the way you got to think. Because if you're thinking, oh, I'm not going to be champion, I'm not going to make it here, you're not going to make it.
No.
You got what it takes because you already have inside your mind that you are the best that there is.
Yeah, man, and that's funny you say that. That's actually the mindset I was in about a year ago. And there's a lot of things a lot of people don't see behind the scenes, but, they start getting to a point where I was getting frustrated. I was getting pretty, I'll say even burnt out. And it was just more just mental state, man. You feel like you don't belong. You don't feel like you're not delivering the way you want to deliver. So that's where I sat back for a couple days straight, and I just thought, I'm like, man, something's got to change. Something's got to give. I felt like I was being denied on, certain opportunities to show what I can actually do in the ring. And that's where it came from. I just got tired of being denied on things. I'm tired of being felt like I was burnt out. But it's more when everybody feels burnt out, it's just something's not clicking. That's where you have to make a change. You have to adapt to what how the crowd's reacting, how the people are looking at you, how you feel in and outside the ring. If you feel like you're just having so many doubts, then it's never going to work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, have you been watching any of the AEW, WWE?
Keeping up with it a little bit, yeah.
Who impresses you on that level?
Man,
So much impressive. So many people. So many people.
right now, man, even though a lot of people give this dude a lot of crap about it. Ricochet.
Yeah, Ricochet.
Yep.
Ricochet, you know, of course, you go from WWE. That's
Kentucky guy.
Yeah, man, and you go from
Paducah.
a big crowd, but then AEW, you know, it's got some issues going on, but you get to do a little bit more how you want to go with your character, how you want to move in the ring.
Yeah. I like AEW. I know the storylines aren't as great as WWE, but, you know, they've only been around 5 years. WWE's been around 20, 30 years. You know, WWE just knows
50.
They just know how to get it. They just know how to do it. I think AEW is still learning. I think Tony Khan's still learning. He's definitely given these guys, opportunity. Lexis Littlefoot was we was in Lexington. She was in the ring. She started the matches out. We had Marty Clay was there. Adam Page pushed him to the ground. By
And Adam ran because he got scared.
Hopefully that'll start. Hope that'll start a feud between them two at some point.
I want to see undeniable Kris Krow get a shot there.
You know, AEW had it. You know, we were down there down at Rupp Arena. They drew a good 2,000 or 3,000 people down there. What do you think, Johnny? There was 2,000 or 3,000 people down there.
People trying to say, "Oh, it's empty just because that one side only has a few people inside of it."
Well, if everybody would stop,
look at our side and you look down at this side, there's over 3,000 people there.
If we could stop the tribalism with the AEW and the WWE, you can go to WWE. You can like WWE. You can like AEW too. Just like around here, you can like EWA. You can like AMW. You can like UCW, TCW. You can like all those guys. All those guys work together. Everybody works together. Everybody books the same kind of wrestlers. But just go to a show. If you get a chance to go to a AEW show, go, because the tickets are very reasonable and they put on they got some great wrestling going on. Great show. It's a great show. Anybody would be proud to wrestle for those guys. I mean, it seems like a good company. Seems like Tony Khan. I keep saying Tony Corral.
And he'll
Tony
give you
Khan
free
has
hugs.
he seems like he's got his head in the right place, I think.
Yeah, man, I could see AEW has a lot of fucking talent, man. It's unreal how much they have on the roster.
Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay, man, he's doing his thing.
He's
up
freaking
there.
amazing, isn't he?
I'll put him probably in the new school era. I'll probably put him in the top 5 for sure on my list.
Help me out with some of these names. What is it? Takashi? Was it
Takashia.
Takeshita? Okada. They just have some freaking the Young Bucks. I mean, they're Adam Page is incredible.
Yep.
I don't.
What's up, Joyce Bruner?
We got Moxley. I mean, we got a lot
Mysterio.
of those guys up there that are just incredible.
Definitely, man. And I feel like AEW's, everybody had the idea of WWE's the place to go, in which, hey, I agree, because they're at the top of the chain. But if you never have that chance, AEW is a good stepping stone, to get up in there.
To me, it seems like that NXT is not the feeder for WWE. It's freaking AEW. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Seems like they take a bunch of their guys.
Yeah.
They'll make them a star over at AEW, and then WWE.
Prime example: Jay Cargill and Ethan Page.
Right there, yeah. They just grab them up,
And Cody coming back, becoming
Cody?
WWE champion right now.
Cody
Yep.
came back. Cody's an AEW guy.
He's still using his AEW gimmick as well.
Yeah.
The way he was presented and everything.
Man, I think that's a big thing too. Is when guys get released, like Cody, I'll use for example. He went on to the independent scene, like the super indies, and he did his thing. He found himself and who he actually was.
Very true.
And then AEW started up. He did his thing. He made his name for himself, and
AEW is good for that. If WWE have a guy that they don't know what to do with, they'll send him over to AEW. They'll let them do their own thing over there, and they develop their own character. And then they were like, "Oh, we'll have them back now."
Like Andrade.
Yeah, Andrade Andrade
He
left.
brought his
and came back.
AEW character all the way to WWE.
And he's having some freaking great matches in NXT right now.
Oh, no, on SmackDown.
SmackDown. He was on NXT too.
Yeah, he was at one point.
Yeah.
But he came back on SmackDown And he's been put on some bangers with Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo Hayes has been tremendous.
Any of the local wrestling organizations that you've you got in touch with, they say come down and wrestle, and you're like, I don't know, and then you go down there and then you're just blown away from them. Who would you say that you're just blown away from with how they book, like storylines, and who's your favorite to work with right now?
Right now, man, ooh, that's a tough one.
I mean, you can have several favorites. You don't have to pick out just one.
I'll definitely put EWA up there.
Yeah.
And that goes into the category of what that fans bring, like the atmosphere. They make a lot of noise every single match. The booking is really on point.
Yeah.
So EWA for sure. I'm enjoying working up there for them.
How about the YMCA that y'all are? Man, that place is incredible, isn't it?
Man,
it's got the look, man. It just has the look. It's just big enough.
I
think.
love the feel.
Yeah, man, it feels like you're actually in wrestling because you'll get to them shows. There's some like in Tennessee, for example, it's like you get there and it's like in a barn or something.
In a barn?
Or in a barn. I've done a show in a barn. It's
yeah.
God.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's some shows it doesn't even look professional. It's like
yeah.
It's like a rinky-dink building, then maybe a curtain.
Yeah, maybe a curtain.
And that's it. But then you get like EWA where they got their logo everywhere. They got the little setup.
Yeah.
And just the feel of it. It's like, okay, this seems like a big deal every single show.
Yeah.
But
EWA does feel like a big deal every show.
It does, man.
Like AMW the same way.
Yeah.
A big deal every show.
And AMW's another one, man. There's a few shows in Kentucky that I love working for just because, atmosphere, what they do with the setup, you actually feel like you're doing something part of the show. And there's a couple shows in Tennessee that's doing the same thing. They're great setup, atmosphere. They know how to promote the show. The talent they book, amazing. But yeah, man, I think those are the few I can think off the top of my head that I think is A1 on everything.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where it should be.
Yeah,
Exactly.
UCW, have you wrestled down there quite a bit?
UCW, yeah, I did a few shows for UCW. I just did their Caverna show back in March, I believe.
I love their Converter shows.
Yeah, man, it was a crazy atmosphere. I think that's the biggest show I've done ever in my career. But yeah, I've done a few shows for them. I've done several shows for TCW/UCW. But yeah, man, almost a lot of the Kentucky shows there.
They got a lot of book. We got a lot of really good promoters here
Yeah,
in Kentucky.
man, definitely.
They definitely know what they're doing. They're definitely into it. You got Terry England, Jimmy Walls, Kyle Maggard, Adrian. All those guys are just incredible. And Adrian just blows my brain every time I talk to him. Every time I see his shows, like he just, he took that promotion. Started it it's not even is it a year old yet?
Little over
Yep.
a year.
Little over a year, and you wouldn't think that by looking at EWA, you would not think they only been around a year. You think that these guys have been around forever.
Exactly, man. EWA is like, I think I got brought in, when was it? I think December of last year. I think that's the first show I did for him. And, where was it at? Frankfurt?
Yeah,
the original
the
building.
Tepword.
So, yeah, man, I was like, okay, some towns you'll definitely have to adapt. Like I said earlier, you have to adapt to what you have to do. Some towns you have to paper flyer it. Sometimes you can promote it online, and sometimes you just got to do both.
Yeah.
Frankfurt was one of those ones, like EWA in general was doing really good with booking and the storylines
Yeah,
and everything.
yeah.
It's just
Nobody was showing
no
up.
one was showing up, and it's just the town,
Yeah.
A lot of towns not into wrestling unless they actually say, "Oh, hey, there's a flyer." That
Apparently, Frankfurt used to be into it, but I guess they're guys. People have gotten older. They don't have a younger audience down there. I guess. I think the place that y'all were having the matches was incredible. I love that place. The look of it was just incredible with all the wood and stuff. But I just don't think a lot of people knew where it was.
Exactly.
You're downtown Richmond right now at EWA. I think that's the place that you have to be. You have to be downtown Richmond.
Definitely, man. And like when they they moved to Richmond. I think the first show I did for Richmond was back in June.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
think
Something like that.
somewhere in there.
Well, they did a show in Richmond, and then they went back to Frankfurt, and then they came back to Richmond, and they've been in Richmond ever since.
Yeah, I definitely don't blame her, man. Richmond is definitely the right move.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, it is.
Because, man, it's just the atmosphere is
Man,
different.
I wish we could have a place here in Kentucky, in Lexington, to do one.
Yeah, man. Hell, I know when New South was running consistently, Tony was doing
The Ice Center.
Ice Center.
Oh man, that show was incredible. The Ice Center just they seemed like they jacked the rent up on you.
Yeah, that's what I heard they did, and I was like, man, because that building, they were fitting in several hundred people. It's like, man,
He was filling the house. New South
it
was
was
kicking
full.
ass.
definitely.
And then he moved to Lawrenceburg and couldn't do anything down there.
yeah, man,
Having incredible shows, incredible cards. Like
Oh, yeah.
people, Jay Lethal and Booker T was down there, just incredible.
exactly, man.
Like
Booker
what
T
was it like
love.
to meet those guys? Like you got to meet Booker T, you got to meet those guys. You was around when that happened, then, right?
Definitely, yeah.
You was at every one of their shows, I think.
Yeah, I was pretty much on there 90% of the time, and when
Tony loved you.
he did.
yeah.
Like Booker T and Jay Lethal, man, they're just some guys you'll meet, and that's been on the top of the world. Sometimes they might be uptight, stuck up, but
Yep.
these guys that Tony brought in, Booker T, Jay Lethal, Rhino.
Rhino was incredible, dude.
Yeah, man.
I went back there and sit and talk to Rhino like he was my best buddy.
Yeah, man. These guys will.
We
literally-
sat there in the back and just bullshitted, man. Like he was my best friend. He's like, come on down and come up to Michigan, man, and come and see us. And I just haven't got a chance to get up there.
Exactly, man. And that's the thing. Is like some of them guys.
You
they
got to
brought in.
wrestle with him here recently, right? Down in, was you down there at AMW when he was down there?
No, that was actually the week.
He wasn't there.
No.
No.
But like them guys, man, they will sit down. If you ask them for advice, you could do different, what you can do to make it.
Incredible guy. I've only met him once, but he seems like an incredible person.
Oh, he's so chilled out, laid back.
Would you face Booker T in some match
Hell
if he
yeah.
were
I
to
would.
have one last
I'll
match?
answer it for him. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a hell of a match.
I am open to anybody who wants a piece of Kris Krow.
Hell yeah. Anybody out there? Who are you, like, tell us something about Kris Krow that nobody knows. Who you like, you look at them wrestling, you're like, I want to match with him. It just hasn't happened around here anywhere. Like, who you like, who's that dream match for you? Or dream matches?
Let's see, man.
And if you guys got anything to add, just go ahead. And,
Yeah, right.
And this
Yep.
could- on the indies or just in general?
in general, anybody in general, if you want to wrestle my mom, let's let us know.
Hey
all
now.
want to.
Hey now.
I've
Mom's
wrestled Johnny's mom.
Hey.
you
Hey,
dressed your
stop
mom.
trying to rehash some things because I
Hey,
don't
look.
want yes once.
69, that's his favorite number.
But
You 69 Johnny's mom?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
he did.
Got proof?
He ain't got
There
no
is a
proof, though.
there is a tape somewhere.
Somewhere.
He
God
says there is,
bless.
but
No, we're not talking about it. No.
I do wish that the younger wrestlers would go up to these older generation guys and pick their brains because like
Heck yeah.
Jim Wall said recently, he was on here, he's like, we had 4 guys that were back there inside the backstage area and nobody walked up and asked them anything to try and learn from them.
Exactly, man.
They gotta do it.
This thing is like, especially guys who, like Booker T, like everyone swarmed him and was asking for advice and stuff. So I didn't even, I kind of just stayed
I
back.
stayed away too. Like there were so many people around him. I just didn't want to bother him.
Yeah.
Like
Man.
I'm not gonna. I don't want to be that guy.
Don't be
I
like-
didn't do that. I walked right up and I asked him, hey Booker, you want to be on the podcast? Booker's like, hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
I was expecting Andy to
But
actually
then
come over and
I guess he
have him
got
on there.
distracted or whatever after the whole line. And he
Yeah, we didn't get him over, but next
We
time we'll
tried.
get him. He'll be back. He'll be
But-
back at New South at some point.
He's one of those guys that was humble because he didn't have this air of arrogance to him when I went over there. He shook my hand and
He just
I
seems
asked
like
him and he's like, hell yeah.
he seems like a down to earth kind of guy. He's that kind of guy that probably just doesn't believe his life right now. He just doesn't believe that this is his life. Like so a lot of people just like you look up and you don't believe that this is what I'm doing. Like
Yeah, man. That's the thing. Like, there's guys I've met that started maybe a couple years after me, and they've already given it up.
yeah.
Yep.
And that's crazy to think. It's like, man, you guys are actually, and them guys have talent. That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's like, I faced a couple of them. I'm like, okay, shit, you were actually doing your thing. But then they give it up, and then
Yeah.
they retire. But, you know, wrestling,
Yeah.
you retire, you come back 6 months later.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, back to your question, man. I think my dream opponent right now is actually in WWE. That's Seth Rollins.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it.
I think that one would be a fucking banger.
You remind me of Drew McIntyre so much. Like I don't know if it's your look.
I've gotten that a lot, man.
yeah.
Like from probably 3 different shows. One in Memphis, one
Yeah.
in Kentucky, and like one in probably I think Georgia.
Yeah.
But yeah, McIntyre's the one. Damian Priest, I've gotten that before.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'd say Rollins. There's some guys in TNA that I want to tear it up with.
How about on the indies that you haven't
Yes, I
that-
was about to ask
that you haven't got to, like anybody in Kentucky that you haven't got to wrestle and you're like, damn, I want to wrestle that guy, or anybody in the mid like MLW, any of those guys, like
Yeah.
anything,
let's see.
TNA, any of those guys.
Man, TNA. Let's see.
Hammerstone's a freaking monster, ain't he?
Yes, he is.
It's so weird, man. There's some matches I want to go against some of these powerhouses just to see where what kind of magic we can make in the ring, just
Yeah.
with like 2 big dudes going at it. But then there's times I'm like, man, let's face these guys who can just go, to
Yeah.
see if I can still go that route.
Yeah, you can do both, right? You can
Yeah.
you can get in there and do that power wrestling, and you can
Yeah.
get in there and do the flipping.
Exactly.
You can do when we've seen you do the Swanton Bomb already.
He's
you
the
know.
whole package.
Man,
Yeah.
I try to be, man. That's the thing. Is like when I first started, it was more like, hey, let me see where this powerhouse stuff goes, because I wasn't just naturally strong, even when I was skinnier.
Yeah.
But again, something wasn't clicking, man, and I started seeing all this new school stuff, the go, flashy stuff, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I took that up. But then I'm like, let's keep some of this powerhouse stuff where I can go in the match, be a little quicker than the guy, but also can pick up, a 400-pound dude, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, man, I try.
What are
to
you
take-
benching right now? You know?
Man, it's been at least 2.5 years, but last time I did was I think 315.
315.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. It's like my training has switched up so much now. It's ridiculous. Like
You're not doing a lot of heavy lifting.
nothing crazy, man. Like 2 years ago, a lot of people don't know this about me, that I had an appendix surgery,
Yeah.
emergency appendix surgery, and they said I was
Oh,
a few,
man.
few hours away from actually just dying. you
No
know?
shit. No shit.
Yeah, man. And
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I woke up one morning and I was just having some sharp pain, and I was like, okay, nothing crazy. I'm one of those guys who just put it off.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same kind.
Yeah, man. So I'm like, okay, that's whatever. Let's see what a few hours looks like. I think we're around like 7 hours. I was like, it's not going away. It's getting worse. Like standing up, laying down, sitting. It was cramping up so bad. I'm like, okay, something's wrong. Drove myself to the hospital. They did all these X-rays, MRIs, and stuff. And they're like, hey, man, you're really healthy. You're one of the healthiest people we've seen, but your appendix is pretty much on the verge of rupturing.
Wow.
And like they're like, if you waited any longer, like an hour or two, you probably would have died. So I had to have emergency surgery about less than a day later, and the crazy part was my incisions. One of them wasn't healing; they kept opening back up.
Oh man.
So that's a crazy sight to see when you have a hole in the middle of your stomach. And
Would
it's
you did you keep on wrestling while you was?
So it's funny. I actually had some bookings and I had to cancel them because I was like, oh yeah, they're like, you can't work out, you can't do anything physical for at least a month.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, whatever.
And yet it kept on popping up.
Yeah, man, and that's the thing is like I chilled out for 3 or 4 weeks straight, kind of just did what they told me. So when they do it, they glue you. They don't stitch you at first.
Yeah.
The glue came undone.
Oh snap!
They re-glued it, came undone. They stitched it, came undone. They're like, it's just because how much muscle you have in that abdominal area, it's trying to just pull it. So like, let's let it heal from the inside out. Just fill it with gauze. So for about a week, man, I just had a hole in my stomach. Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like whatever, but it healed up finally quicker when it was just doing it that way.
Yeah.
So I think that happened in July of 22.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, July of 22. I didn't get back to wrestling until like October.
I bet it dropped you crazy, wasn't it?
Dude, it was, and that's the thing is like when you are so dead serious about the sport, even a weekend will feel like years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, it just makes you like, man, I should be out there somewhere wrestling and doing your thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, when they cleared me, I took a whole month just to get back in the gym, get my cardio back up. Man, I think overnight, before they gave me my surgery, I dropped like 12 pounds overnight. So I tried to get that back. I got up to like 245. So I was just like a little yoked up dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was training heavy and everything. That kind of goes back to the fact.
What do you walk at right now?
Right now, 230.
230.
230, yeah.
That ain't bad at all.
Nah, man, and that's the way I kind of feel really comfortable at. Like now, yeah, like my training's switched up
You
so
look
much.
bigger than that.
Yeah, a lot of people think that.
Yeah.
A lot of people, like announcers, they try like, what are you, about 250? I'm like, man, I wish.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man, my training is switched up more to like moderate weight, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to, especially all the bookies I'm getting now, it's like I don't want to get injured. With like
Get
a torn-
sore and you're like, you can't do a
Yeah,
certain thing.
you don't want
Yeah.
that.
And something I've been taking up, I haven't done in a few weeks, but it's ice baths, man. That's done wonders for me.
Really, ice baths.
Yeah, man. Had a lot of inflammation and just muscle soreness from matches in the gym.
How do you do the ice bath? You just fill the tub full of ice and
Hey,
jump in
climb
it,
on
or
it.
you got a certain way you're doing it?
Yeah, man. I actually ended up getting a actual ice tub.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Andy, that's something for you now.
I know,
An ice
right? I
tub.
need to do that. We need to put one in the studio here.
That's
Sure,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I just fill up with 2 or 3 bags of ice, and I sit in there for about 10, 12 minutes, and I feel good for the next 2 or 3 days. No pain or anything.
Really? How cold is it, you think?
Mine, I have to have really cold. So if I had to guess,
You have to have it really cold.
yeah, man,
You like it, I guess.
I do. Yeah.
No shit. No shit.
About 30 degrees, probably.
It helps the aches
30,
go
30,
away.
30 degrees.
Yeah.
It does.
And I was always against, ice baths.
Yeah.
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 Um,
Joe Rogan loves it. Like I listen to
Yeah.
his show. He's on it all the time.
and that's the thing. I wish I knew about it or actually believed in doing it sooner.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, man, probably the last 6 months I've been taking more recovery seriously.
Uh-huh.
Hence, I don't go heavy in the gym no more. It's more just cardio, making sure I look good in the ring, functional stuff. But then recovery is a huge thing now. I've taken really serious ice baths.
What else do you do for recovery?
So, man, I've actually, there's times I'll take weekends off from wrestling.
Yeah.
If I'm feeling like something's totally off and I'm not feeling 100%,
Yeah, you gotta heal up.
yeah, man.
Heck yeah.
Just rest,
Yeah, man.
sleep, rest.
And that's the thing. I wish I slept a little longer than I usually do, but when you're
We
always
all
on the
do.
go, it's impossible.
Yeah, you're always on the move.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah, ice baths, taking time off when you really need it. I've seen so many people. I used to be the way where you feel like you can just keep going, just block out the pain, whatever, and sooner or later it's gonna catch up.
Yeah.
I got something for you.
What you got?
What would you have told your younger self if you could go back? What would be the one piece of advice that you would let him know?
That's a good question. Man. Don't let anybody get in your head and don't take no for an answer.
Yo,
Yeah.
Say fuck the haters and just do your thing. For a little while, I was kind of in my head about that. I'm like, man, this ain't for me. I'm not gonna make it nowhere.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee almost every person on the independent scene has literally thought that at least once. But again, it comes to the point I wish I told myself even 3 years ago that, hey, take a little recovery time when you need it, but do not take no for an answer. If you feel like somebody, like a show or something's denying you on opportunity or where you think you should be, man, fuck it. If you get pre-show, you better go out there and prove that you belong in the main event.
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
And I did that for first half of this year. I was just going out there and I'm still doing it to this day.
You still the show every time.
Yeah, man, and
You
that's-
pretty much do. I mean,
That's my mindset now, man. It's like
it's hard for. I'd say it's hard for other matches to follow you.
It sure is.
I'd hate to be the wrestlers after your match because, like, with the intensity that you have, and especially if you have somebody that can wrestle and meet your energy in there, like, there's no way to beat like you or your matches.
yeah, man, and that's the mindset I almost have every show now, where it's like no one's gonna touch me. I don't care if I'm first match, third match, main event.
Yeah.
My mindset is like I'm gonna go steal the show, or have some kind of moment in that match where everyone in the back, in the crowd, whatever, like, damn, that really happened. That's the dude, real deal right there.
What's your this is a big thing for a lot of guys. What's your support system like at your house? Like your wife, is she support?
Yeah, she comes with me almost 98% of the time. Shows.
She's with you 90%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, man, and she just loves it. She sees what I can do.
I don't, with this stuff, I see a lot of guys, but their wives or their girlfriends don't get the flowers that they deserve by, it takes, if you're in a relationship like that, it's definitely easier for you, I'd say, if your spouse is like involved or supporting you with it.
Definitely, man, and then she knows the whole drill. Like some nights it's gonna be late. Some shows kind of run over. It's gonna be. Sometimes we get home at 2 or 3. Some shows in the morning. Yeah. But she loves every second of it. She's very supportive. That's
a great wife.
Yeah, man, and you have to have that support system, especially if you feel like
she's over there selling your merch. I actually bought a shirt from her.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I was like, "Are you his girlfriend?" I'm his wife. I was like, "Oh, cool. That's awesome. That's incredible."
Yeah, man. She loves coming to him.
Speaking of which, I thought that he'd be wearing the shirt tonight.
I don't know where it's at. It's in my man. You should. Man,
Johnny's
I'm a clothes guy. I got so many clothes, but then I only wear a certain amount of them. But man, you should see my closet. My closet is like fucking. My closet is as big as this room here. It's crazy.
98% wrestling shirts in.
Yeah, and I just threw my SummerSlam shirt on. It's just seems to be. I went to SummerSlam up there, and I guess where I got that poster on that I stole that off of a table. I just ripped it off of a table. It was twice as big. And when I got it back here, I brung it back from Cleveland. It was just wrinkly as hell, and I had to get a heat gun and straighten it out. I tried not to get stuff on the back of it. It was still sticky. It was like it's a big sticker, is what it is. Yeah. It's twice as big as it is because the heat gun got a little too hot and melted one side, and I had to cut it off. But it turned out good. So, but I did steal that from the WWE.
Hey, they can't do nothing about it.
They can't.
They were going to throw it away.
Yeah, they were going to throw it away anyway. So, but I did buy this shirt. Well, my wife bought this shirt for me.
Heck yeah!
And that's the thing, man. Like merch.
My wife hates the fucking podcast. Like she hates it. If she fucking fights with me all the time, she hates the podcast. She doesn't like Johnny, or she doesn't she doesn't like Sean. Like she likes Sean.
But she likes Sean when
Sean's
discount.
discount.
To go to Cracker Barrel and get my discount.
Yeah, she likes.
Oh, she'll love me then.
Oh yeah, she'll come over there. Sean, are you Sean at
Wendy.
Cracker Barrel?
But then after she's like, I don't like those guys.
I fucking hate your guts.
No, she don't hate them. She just we just spent a lot of time over here at the podcast studio. Like you were saying, you go to some of those wrestling shows that are in the barns, but like I wanted to do the podcast and these guys want to do the podcast. That's why we have the studio. We want to make it look like, we want to look at least legit enough that, you want to come and you're sitting in a $200 chair, by the way. Oh shit. So, I had some money at one point, but it's all in this podcast now. Hopefully it'll pay us back at some point, but
yeah, man, I dig it. I mean, it has a good little look to it, man. It's like it almost gives you like one of those real professional high money type of studios.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't understand. Like it goes with wrestling. If you love this shit, you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much.
Well, we're potting on a budget, but it does look like it's expensive. But I've cut so many corners you would not believe.
For sure.
Yeah.
If you can do it.
Yeah. But and Facebook does help us. We're monetized on Facebook. It does pay half the bills around here. And I got a pretty good job at UPS. So
for sure. Yeah.
By the way, UPS is hiring, guys. Get out there and
That's right,
join your local.
It's
peak season soon. If you guys want a job, get in contact with your local UPS, upsjobs.com, and get you a nice seasonal job at UPS. You might turn into a career.
Man, I tell you what, every time we see Kris Krow wrestle, it's like he stole the show so good that all the other matches seem like they don't follow after that match. Yeah, it's like the main event already happened.
Anytime you wrestle Adrian Alexander, man, Adrian is such a good wrestler too. he is one of the best sellers in the whole business, man.
Dude, yes.
And like, when somebody hits him, man, he sells the hell out of it. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
man.
so incredible, man. That dude is such an incredible worker.
That's the thing, man. A lot of people don't give like Adrian his flowers. You're like, who else can I say?
He's so good. He's so good.
Yeah, like Adrian's probably given me some of my better matches
Yeah.
in the last 6
Who
months.
else is underrated you've worked with that you like, this guy is like, when you looked at him, you're like, I don't know, but now you think, damn, that's a guy. That's the guy.
Man, there's a couple.
Give them their flowers, man. Let them know.
That's right.
I did a match with Tony Krow.
Tony Krow.
Yeah.
And, I hate when people give this misconception like Tony, he's a little older.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think, oh, these older guys can't do shit.
Yeah.
Me and Tony have one of the hardest hitting matches I've ever had. And I don't know if you guys were there or not. It's when we traded slaps. We both busted each other's eardrum that
Was
night.
that EWA?
EWA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do some people will just stop, try to take a minute to recover from a busted eardrum, but we just said, fuck it, let's keep going.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like Tony, a lot of people don't give him his flowers. But
Yeah.
Duke can,
Yeah,
Duke
he
can
don't.
go.
Tony's a badass.
Oh, dude,
He
yeah.
can-
Yeah,
Deliver.
he is.
Tony's just that like I said, that fucking tough uncle that you fucking will not fuck with.
He's gonna be in here with Tommy Green soon.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Corral will be in the studio soon. I've been wanting Tony in here for a while. He's just like, I mean, I was so like, and I'm not like that, but I was so like, not. I was kind of against myself approaching him because he just looks like he's just a fucking intense guy that just
Just ready to kill you or
that
something.
just
you
will
know?
just
Yeah.
smack the shit out of you. And I'm not the kind of guy that would just sit there and let him smack the shit out of me. I'd probably get my ass whooped, but I'd have to fight him back, and that would be a hell of a fight.
Oh, man, dude. But yeah, man, there's a lot of guys that don't get their flowers. And
Yeah,
if I had to go through a list, you'd be here for a minute.
yeah. Tell us a couple more.
Man, let's see, Tennessee. This guy gets his flowers just because he's been doing this for so long and he's been on so many bigger shows.
Yeah.
But like Toby Farley, for one,
Uh-huh.
I've only faced him 3 times, I believe. But like every match we've upped it.
Yeah.
Intensity wise, psychology wise, whatever. And I think the last match I had with him, I told him, I was like, dude, let's just go out there and beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah,
And I was like, that's a lot of guys realism is such a lost thing in the sport.
yeah,
Yeah.
If you're going to go out there and you're just going to bullshit with it, get the fuck out.
yeah,
There's some guys that take it serious. Like, I'm one of them. I'm getting to a point in my career where even it's 5 years, my mindset's almost like a 10 years in.
Yep.
Like, I want it to look...
It needs to look professional.
Yeah, I want it to look professional. I want people to think like, fuck, they really are beating the fuck out of each other.
Exactly.
And I tell people up front, if you don't hit me, I'm going to sock you
yeah,
Yep.
until you hit me.
yeah,
Exactly.
So it's like, you got to give me something. This business, I'll probably get shit for this, but fuck it. There's so many people that's so soft about it. Like, oh, you hit me too hard. You did this, you did that.
Well, you get that. Will you get that sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is,
You're like,
I gotta say, they sound like pussies because in wrestling,
It
it
ain't
used to
ballet.
be a guy
You are
gets
not-
hit, he's gonna get hit for real.
Yeah, man. And like, dude, I'll tell people, like veterans or even rookies, I'm like, you better hit me. Dude, it's not ballet. Like,
Yep.
have
fuck
you gotten in the back and some guy was like in your face about you hitting him too hard, or like is that how it is? Or they
James
just usually-
Kendrick, welcome to the chat, my
That's a
friend.
fucking guy right
Appreciate
there.
you, James Kendrick.
man,
That's the guy right there too. Have you wrestled him?
No, we was actually on a show together last night, I believe. That's another guy I'd like to tie horns with.
He's great in the ring.
Dude, definitely.
He's underrated.
Yeah.
He's so underrated. Like
There's-
nobody, like he's so underrated. He's so good in the ring. He's so underrated.
Robert Morrow has a question for you. He said, "Who gave you the hardest chop?"
There's a guy his name's Menace. He's left my chest looking like hamburger meat.
Oh,
Wow.
And that's his whole thing is like chops, man. And I actually just faced him early this year. And I knew they were coming. I was like, fuck it, let's do it. Let's chop the shit out of each other if we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's one thing, man. That kind of goes back to earlier. That's one thing a lot of people hate. And I'm like, it's a part of it. Go with it.
Exactly.
Like,
The chops are always going to be legit.
yeah. And like the ones, man, there's people who try to gimmick it. Don't. Because it's just ridiculous at that point.
Yeah.
But like, I will lay mine in. I haven't done any chops lately, but like, man, I've chopped.
There's nothing fake about a chop, right?
No, man. Like, it's always fun to do it to the smaller guys too, because it's just, the sound's fucking louder for some reason.
It's louder for the smaller
Like-
guys, really. You
Like-
think a bigger guy would sound big
man.
more?
Like even higher, chop him and he'll make a loud sound.
That's another dude. I totally forgot about him, but Ethan Heyer, he's kind of been making some waves lately.
Yes,
Um,
he has
Definitely been making waves.
That's someone I'd like to get in the ring with and tie horns with. You know, I think that story would be there. You know, the little guy versus the big guy. You know,
Yep.
you've seen that story so many times in wrestling, but man, it never gets old.
No,
And it works because even higher can go, yes, it was the guy that he's facing.
Yeah, man.
A lot of people don't give the man credit.
Yeah.
Just because he's 5 foot and they're bigger than him, it don't mean that he can't wrestle. He can.
Yeah.
I've seen him go. He took a ladder to the face and was busted wide open.
Yeah, man.
Here recently at the hardcore, the show before that, the Gold Rush
Yeah.
pay-per-view.
That's the thing too. Like, Ethan's he hasn't been doing it a crazy amount of time. I think a couple years, maybe. If I'm correct,
Yeah,
if I'm wrong.
about I think about 3 years. He said.
3 years. Yeah. But dude, there's guys like in my time of like 5 years or less, they get clocked with something like a weapon or something, or an injury happens, they keep going.
Yeah.
I've seen some guys that's 12, 15 years in, they just stop.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm hurting, But it's like, if you can continue through it, do it. I mean,
Exactly.
these people are paying their money to come see you and like escape reality for at least 2-3 hours. I just, that's my mindset. It's like,
Someone said Omega's got a chop. I heard.
oh, hey, so
Have you faced Omega?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
That dude hits hard.
Yes,
Yeah.
he
I
does.
love Omega. I love watching Omega. Man, we've
We've had him
We
in-
were at Paradigm and watched
We
him
went
and
up to-
Isaiah.
we went up to Paradigm, and like he's a different animal when he's up in Paradigm, and he's a different animal when he's up in Indiana, like lower Indiana, southern Indiana. When he's out there wrestling, do you wrestle up there hardly any?
Man, I want to get up in Indiana. There's some talks about some grindhouse.
Grindhouse?
Oh, yes.
Grindhouse is incredible, man.
Sometime in the future, that's supposed to happen.
I
Yeah.
feel like Paradigm should also try to hit you up 'cause
Paradigm
you're a
is
hard
incredible.
hitter.
We'll have the Paradigm guy in here soon, won't we?
Yep. I got to get him booked for December.
Yeah, we'll have the owner of Paradigm up here at some point.
I'll say even Omega, man, he's been doing it for a while now, too. And that's the thing is like,
Such a fucking great guy, man.
Great
Such
dude,
a sweetheart of a fucking guy. When he comes, every time he's come in the studio, just a fucking pleasure to be around, man.
yeah, man. And that's the thing. He, outside the ring, cool ass dude.
Yeah, a
When he's
fucking pleasure to be
yeah.
around. Like
And
a
he
fucking always gives you a fucking hug, shakes your hand, just
Oh, yeah.
fucking
And
just
he
is
paid me
incredible.
$5 to punch Chris Blade.
Yeah,
I mean, man,
just an incredible person, man. Just
but
incredible.
like when it comes to the ring, he don't play.
No, he don't. He don't.
No, we've never tied horns in a singles match.
Yeah.
It's always been like a tag or 6-man or something like that.
That's a future match waiting to happen.
Oh yeah, yeah. With him doing the EWA stuff too now.
Yeah, I'll definitely. Me and Omega needs to tie it up for sure.
How about Clayton Canyon? Have you been in the ring with him?
I think I've done one 6-man tag earlier this year with him.
Yeah, that's right.
Birdo, have you took on Birdo?
I faced Berto once at New South.
Yep, I remember that.
I gave him his first loss at New South.
Yep.
I love Birdo. Birdo's incredible.
Hey, dude, there's so many guys that's like,
I'd love to see Birdo change his gimmick up for a little while.
I
Yeah.
was actually, it's funny you say that. I was actually thinking about that last time I seen him.
Turn heel, man. If I
Yeah.
could just be a mean motherfucker.
Dude, his gimmick could work still, like if it went into like a heel deal
Yeah.
where he's just totally just lost it in his head and he's
Yeah,
still,
yeah, like
you know,
like just lost his mind.
yeah.
Yes. That'd
that-
be perfect.
I will say that's turning heel has been the biggest game changer in my career.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a cool dude, but babyface just was not clicking with
Yeah.
me, man.
Like I see you as that. I see you as that Drew McIntyre heel. That Drew McIntyre heel right now. The way Drew McIntyre is, he's just not that. he's not that
Oh, speaking of devil, Omega's tuned in.
Omega.
What's going on, Omega?
We was just talking about you, buddy.
High praise. But
Another guy I would love to get in the ring with, and we've been on shows together several times, but we've never crossed paths. Myron Reed.
yes.
Myron Reed.
That'd be a
Oh
fire
yeah,
match.
Myron.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
I think we would fucking tear it up in the ring, man. I think some of the best matches out of my career would probably come from Myron.
Myron Reed. Yeah, yeah.
That'd be a
Mickey
hell of a
Midas.
match.
Mickey Midas is Sue.
That-
I don't think I've ever been in a match with him. Not even a singles or a tag or three-way or anything.
Love that guy, man. He's such a
That
cool
sounds
guy
like
too.
a hell of a match waiting to happen.
Yeah,
Mickey Midas
Myron
versus
Reed.
undeniable Kris Krow.
Matt Diesel.
Matt Diesel I've met a few times, man. He's doing his thing.
Yeah, they're doing Icon Lee. Icon. You like
Yeah.
Icon?
Yeah, I'd like to see that because Icon.
I want to
he's
see
also
Icon.
about
Yeah,
hard
Icon.
hit.
He's our
Conley and Kris Krow for the NiceGuyAndy.
He's our
podcast
champion
title.
right
Hey,
now.
I wouldn't hate it.
Recently, when him and Party Mike met, Party Mike laid in the slap. He's like,
That's what I heard.
damn, you actually hauled off and slapped me hard.
Icon
I
just
think
beat.
that hurt.
Icon just beat him though.
You can't
Yeah,
really
but
work
also-
a slab. You just got to haul off and just.
That earned
punch the
Icon's
motherfucker.
respect though, because he wasn't
Yeah.
going to let Party Mike just slap him.
Party
He
Mike's
said,
a
"You
good.
better bring it."
Party Mike.
I'd like to see Party Mike change his gimmick up a little bit, more of a serious. I'd like to see him go heel.
Yeah, dude,
can
I'm
see it.
telling you, there's for a while I thought babyface is the way to go.
Yeah.
And a lot of promoters. And,
You do it good though.
yeah, man,
you
like,
do.
when I
You
have
do
to
it good.
The heel's better.
Heel's definitely better.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, you have to be a good heel to turn. You have to be a good babyface to be able to turn heel.
You definitely, man. Some shows have gotten to a point where I'm full on heel, and man, there's some interview I watched years back, but some guys was talking about. I think might have been Seth Rollins, I believe. They're like, when you can get that person can piss you the fuck off to the point where you want to fight them, meet them
Yep.
out at the building, whatever. But they can also make you love them.
Exactly.
And if you're busting your ass off every single show, every single match, and they're seeing that how much you're putting in for their entertainment, they'll
Yeah.
start cheering you, man. And there's
Just
some
like
shows-
Roman and Seth. I mean, they both didn't really turn heel. They just kind of like organically turned the baby back.
And just like they tried to force Roman to be babyface, but the fans wasn't buying it
Fans
because it
were not
wasn't
buying it.
organic.
Yeah.
This time
Yeah.
when
Now
he
it's
turned baby,
organic.
now it's organic. Everybody loves Roman.
Yeah, man, and that's the thing is like when I turned heel,
I think Cody's turning heel it soon.
definitely, yeah,
Definitely.
it should.
He has to, man.
He's the Homelander
It's almost
of
like he
WWE.
already has. To me, it looks like he's already has. He just
Yeah, there's something about it.
he just already has without anybody
Slimy.
knowing.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
that's great.
That's the thing about heel, like you just feel like when you turn heel, you just feel like you got something to prove that you couldn't do as a babyface.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't give a fuck about people's opinion of you,
Yep.
and that goes outside the business. You like, fuck it. You're doing your thing. Like for me, I know I'm one of the best, if not the best.
And you could say things that you couldn't say when you were babyface.
Exactly, man. And
Actually, you could be heel and just smart off at somebody in a store, but like, hey, I'm just playing the gimmick.
I will say the one heel I can think off the top of my head right now that just keeps everything 24/7 is MJF.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hated him as a babyface.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, it wasn't organic
fucking
at all.
So terrible as a
Horrible.
babyface.
Here's what made me kind of confused. Why make Adam Cole be the heel? Because you had this storyline where MJF could perfectly
This
reveal
whole
that he was the
storyline
devil the
made
whole
no
time.
sense from the get-go.
So Adam Cole came back now as a babyface
Yeah.
to help Garcia, right?
Yep. And
He's turning heel.
but it has to
Oh,
make
totally.
sense though for him to be
But
helping Daniel.
it makes sense because he's turning heel.
Dude, Daniel.
Him and MJF always was friends.
I think that Daniel became babyface and Adam Cole's babyface.
Adam Cole is turning heel on Garcia and joining in with MJF because MJF and him had a great run as babyfaces.
Well, I wouldn't say all together great.
It was a really good run because they had the whole kangaroo hop and all that shit.
Yeah, but it would have been a whole lot better if MJF was the one to turn on Adam Cole. Because MJF is a natural
I think
heel.
we were
Adam
expecting
Cole,
it. That's why
Adam
they,
Cole is turning heel.
I believe we expected it. That's why they went with the Adam Cole. turning
And
heel instead of MJF.
it didn't.
Yeah, but recently Adam Cole came out as a baby face.
I
Yep.
know.
And he's turning heel again. That's what I see.
But I don't think he's going to
People
join
are saying that's
MJF.
not. Yeah, he's joining MJF.
No.
Yeah, he would.
He's
MJF
going
can't
to.
be trusted.
I mean, why not? They've already
I think Adam Cole, the only time babyface worked for him was when
Never.
no,
I
it
feel
has.
like that
it has.
little era he had with NXT with the Undisputed
Yeah.
Era when they turned baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
but
that
then
Kinda.
very
it
short
kind of
while.
burned out quick.
But
though.
then when he took on what's his name, the announcer, man, that was a
Yep.
great freaking
Yeah,
feud.
Mac-
Okay,
McAfee.
yeah.
That was a great feud right there. McAfee did, and like,
McAfee does not get his.
that match was incredible. I thought
that guy was doing things that you wouldn't expect.
he has his own ring.
football player to be able to
Yeah,
do.
he has
yeah,
his
but
own.
he
ring
got
and stuff.
trained by a great veteran, Rip Rogers.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He knows
Shout out
his
to Rip
shit.
Rogers.
Shout out to the hustler.
He's still doing his thing and training people.
Yeah.
He also gives great advice. If you go onto his Twitter or you go
He's
onto
also-
his Facebook, he tells you,
He's also
don't be
got a
wearing
podcast
goofy
of his
shit.
own.
Try to make it look fucking legit.
And that's one thing. That's another thing, Johnny. I'll tell you that I wish I told myself years ago. Just make it look as real as you can make it. Like
Yeah.
there was a point where I was like, man, let's do all this new shit you see on TV, over choreographed and all that. But I'm like,
Yeah.
it can work to a degree. As long as the strikes and everything, the intensity's there, everything else is there. But if it's just all this going crazy, then there's nothing else. It's like, damn, it just falls flat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like the lockup. If the lockup ain't intense and y'all just looking like y'all are phoning it in,
Yeah.
the fans ain't gonna buy that.
Yeah.
The fans will be like, why did I pay money to see this shit? They'll be booing out the house and be telling their friends, oh, you don't want to see that show no more. They
Yeah,
got
man.
goofs inside there.
And that's the thing is, like, I've had one or two people when I lock up with them, they're like, hey, it's a little too snug. I'm like, in this business, man, if you want the shit to look real, you gotta
Yeah.
be snug.
Yeah, it's gotta be snug
Yeah.
because that's the
There's a
lockup.
difference between
Why are they-
snug and
Why,
stiff.
why are they worried about it? It's like
Yeah, dude, like,
it's like
They're just
Like I don't understand. They gotta understand it's professional wrestling. Lockup must be snug. It must be intense. You must
A
look like you're both
headlock.
trying to kill each other.
yeah, man. And
And
that's
there's a ways to do a headlock that's snug but safe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not ripping your damn hair out.
Nate Williams showed me that recently when he was on the show. He put me inside a headlock and I wasn't in pain at all. He was making it look snug and doing
Yeah.
things to me the whole time at the same time.
That's the thing is, like, now that's why I love being heel because, one, I'm just not a people's person. Because then, you got them marks that will just think they know it all about the business and everything.
yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah, and that's the good thing
They're
about
fast.
heel. Like, I can just tell you.
We're
you're-
marks, but we don't act like that.
No, yeah, man.
I mean, you could call us marks, but we're not like them people. Like we're,
Yeah, man. It's like the marks that, like,
You know?
will go to Facebook and, like, man, you could have done this.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
we love wrestling. We love even the shitty wrestling.
yeah, man.
Like we like it all. Like
yeah, man.
I mean, I think that there's places for, and you'll get some guys that are like, like hardcore. Like you don't want the guys that are just the other guys that don't do. There's places. I think there's a place for that
There's a place
gimmick
for everything.
shitty
Like,
wrestler.
definitely.
It's
I
like
think
a
there's
buffet.
You gotta have a place for that shitty gimmick wrestler because if you have a shitty gimmick wrestler, it kind of makes you look that much better. I think
It also
there's a place for those guys. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
It also lets people have a different variety because wrestling is like different ice cream flavors. Everything for everyone.
Yeah.
If someone likes shitty wrestling, they can see it from a shitty promotion.
Yeah.
If they like good wrestling, you got the good wrestling promotions.
Yeah.
If they want just death matches or hardcore matches, they got the hardcore death matches promotions like Game Changer Wrestling.
If you're in there and intensely doing your thing, don't get upset about like if we post one of your matches on. I'm just talking about anybody in general. Well, we did go and take a lot of clips, and we get a lot of views for these people. Get those names out there.
Yeah.
A lot of places. And we get some of the wrestlers like, will you take that down because it's making me look bad? Well, you got to wrestle better. Like,
Right.
like you're out there, wrestling, and if you can't take the comments, some of these comments are just motherfuckers talking.
Dude,
Yeah.
Like you said,
Yes.
it's just marks talking, and your wrestling ain't that bad. I mean, there's just
Yeah.
marks just fucking saying something about just because they want to say something and they can get somebody laughing, maybe one or two guys
Maybe
laugh
make
at their
themselves
shit.
laugh.
When I can get you 50,000 views,
Exactly.
and you're worried about 10 or 20 of them or even 100 of them
Yeah.
that are negative, you can't do that. You gotta you just gotta roll with the punches because not everybody's gonna like you.
Yeah, man. And I remember there was a post somebody posted about me about a year ago.
Yeah.
And somebody commented and said, yeah, he can do all the high fly, hippity, flashy stuff.
Yeah.
But can he really wrestle?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, if you watch any of my matches, yeah, I can wrestle. But I
Exactly.
can also go new school. I can go, whatever. But dude, it's always funny. Is usually who comments is like little kids that.
Yep.
It's usually some fat guy that
Yeah,
can't
man.
that can't get in the fucking ring.
Bro.
You know why I started fucking going back to the gym and exercising? Because me and Johnny were like Terry Inglis booked us in a match to
Yep.
abuse each other, and I was like, I'm gonna get in the ring because I came out with Icon. I'm like, I'm gonna get in the ring and see what it's like. Fucking my fat ass couldn't climb in the ring.
I
So I was
rolled
like-
into it.
The fucking next day, I started walking 2 miles a day.
Yep.
Like I can get in the fucking ring now, and I can jump around a little bit. Like that, being in that fucking ring.
Yes,
if
it's
you
different.
sitting at your house telling somebody like Kris Krow that he can't fucking wrestle,
Exactly.
get in that ring and run those ropes one fucking time,
I invite them
or
to actually try to
climb your
step.
fat ass in the ring.
Exactly, man.
I invite them to try to step to that ring and try to run those ropes because when I ran those ropes, you can feel the difference between
That ain't
elastic
pain.
ropes.
But the
and
ring is what,
ropes.
3 foot off the ground, right?
Yeah.
3 or 4 foot
Yep.
off,
Yep.
3 foot off the ground at least. Climb your fat ass up up 3 foot.
And try falling onto the mat.
Yeah.
You'll find out real
That
fast
man-
that it
Just
ain't no
get up there.
trampoline.
They say,
Get
oh,
in the
there's
ring.
padding there. I said, that's not enough.
Get your fat ass in the ring and then walk around in the ring in front of a crowd.
And if they could do that, I'll shake their hand.
That's
like,
even
okay.
hard. That's even hard. Getting in the fucking ring and walking
Run the
around
ropes for a
with the
minute
crowd,
straight.
with the crowd looking at you, just walking around in that motherfucker, and not be
Yeah.
like, "Oh shit,
Like
I'm
me
on
and
a
him
fucking
gained-
stage." here."
Exactly.
Me and him
Yep.
gained respect for professional wrestling because we had our match. We were out there in front of a crowd. We had people cheering. We had people watching and
It
questioning.
goes
some of
by
our
so
things.
fast. It's so fast. It's like
And you can gas out fast.
it's so fast. It's like, and you don't know, like, if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, man, that's the one thing I was telling somebody the other day that I've hated for so long, the word fake.
Yeah, I hate that word.
I hate that word
It's-
I
too.
fucking hate it. I despise it because then I have to explain to people, I'm like, does busted noses sound fake? Does concussion sound fake? Does your whole back of your leg bruised from the apron sound fake?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or your back getting all
Yeah.
bruised
Well, I
up on
always-
the ropes.
I always compare it to like a stand-up comedian. I'm not a stand-up comedian. I've considered it, doing it a few times, but like I've studied where I know what they do. They go and they take their jokes and they go up to a one night stand or they get on the stage and they say their jokes. They work them out. I'm just like a wrestler. They get in the stage. They get on the stage, which is a wrestling ring, and they work their stuff out. Like it's not going to be the best the first time you do it.
Exactly.
The more reps you get up there, the more times you tell that joke, the better that joke's going to get. The more times you run that ropes, more times you're in that ring, the better you're going to get. So it's kind of like the same thing. Your work, like even when you go, and like there's not a place where you can just go and wrestle and practice, right?
No, not really.
I mean, you got to have your
learning on
your
the road.
practice is your matches.
Yeah, man.
Like every time you have a match, you practice. That's your practice. That's where you're working out your moves. You're getting better. It's just like a comedy guy. You have to be in front of a audience to get your jokes over. You can sit there and say your jokes in front of your mom and dad at home, and they're gonna laugh their fucking asses off. But if you get in front of that crowd, they might not laugh. If you get in front, you get in that ring and you run your moves. You can run your moves in your bedroom or in your backyard as much as you want.
Well.
But you're not gonna you're not gonna learn how to wrestle. You got to get in front of a crowd.
I'll tell you what my favorite part of our match was. Is that we got the crowd to actually cheer when I took the plunger and I ran at you and
That
had
was
you on your
great.
face and the
That was my
crowd
idea.
popped.
Oh, is that what happened? I
That
was
was our
fixing
idea.
my eyes. I missed that part.
Yeah.
That was a great spot because the crowd invested inside of it.
Yeah.
Now, it would have been a bad spot if they wasn't even reacting to me plunging his face.
Or anything.
You have to know what the crowd's going to respond to.
Well, they also reacted well when you need Andy stiff as hard in the head too.
He tried to take over the podcast. He's like, here's my opportunity. Here's my opportunity.
Listen.
I'm going to kill this old bastard,
No,
and I'm
no.
taking over the podcast.
No,
It's going to be
listen.
the Nice Guy Johnny show.
No, listen. What happened was we had a beginning that was supposed to happen, but it
Y'all
all
forgot
it all
it.
went
You
to
know he
shit.
blames
So-
all this on you, Sean.
No.
we
He blames
ended
the match for being
we
bad on
ended up
you.
Hitting the. I ended up looking at him inside the corner while
No
he's
one
down.
listened to me.
This was the worst
And I'm
match
like-
ever had, I think.
And I'm like, double knees. So I hit him with the double knees.
And it's
still
not
complained
me and
about it.
Johnny's fault. It's fucking Sean's fault.
Oh, no.
And
Fuck you.
if Johnny tells the story, every time it's fucking Sean's fault. If Sean would have did this and did that,
That's
this did the
true,
fucking
Grant.
match would have been great. I'm like,
you
yes,
think
Johnny,
about
you're
it,
right.
I counted
Hey,
to
That
three.
fucking Sean
My
fucked up
job
the
was
match.
just to count to three.
But
Or
you
call
think-
the submission.
You fucked our matchup, Sean.
No, the beginning of the match.
Sean, damn.
It's fucked up,
Because
ain't it?
compared to trigger graph, the trigger
Fuck
graph.
everything up.
You fucked it
Johnny,
all up.
why are you still bitching at me saying I ruined the match when you won the fucking match?
It's
When you win,
because-
listen to me, asshole.
Johnny started making up fucking moves on his own. Like,
He
I'm like,
did.
where the fuck did the double knees, me being in the bottom of the fucking
Listen.
term lobes, and
Listen.
the double running at me with double knees come from? That
Okay,
wasn't.
listen.
We never fucking talked about
Okay,
that.
listen.
Never
In
was
professional
brought up.
wrestling,
I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my fucking god, this guy's gonna fucking rip my head off.
guess what? In professional wrestling, you gotta adapt.
You ain't
And
a
that's
fucking
what happened.
professional wrestler, Johnny. You're the
Doesn't
fucking
matter.
podcast
I
guy.
was trying to respect their craft. Thank you. That's why I wore the gear.
Count him out.
Because you
One.
had the tights.
Two.
You had the
Speaking of
elbow
which,
pad.
Terry England's online.
Terry.
Terry England.
Terry's so fucking funny when he announced us. He said,
Oh, Terry
"This
said
is a special match, right? This is kind of like a Special Olympics match."
Hey,
Yes.
hey, listen this.
All
Terry
fucking
said
match.
this.
I didn't know if I was gonna fucking make it out there when I was in the back fucking dying laughing. He just called my fucking wrestling match the
just killed us
Special
right
Olympics event.
Terry said,
personal.
Terry said, that absolutely was not Andrew Watkins' idea with the plunger. How could you let him lie like that, Superfly John Lee?
That was Terry's idea.
And,
it was.
Yes, it was.
James Kendrick comes in.
Oh, yeah.
Goes, plans change.
Yep.
God damn it.
James Kendrick's awesome.
I tried to
He
explain
would-
that.
he's
Speaking
my
of which, he's going into the Pro Wrestling Legacy Hall of Fame.
Him and
as well as
Congratulations
Lone
to
Wolf
him.
Bobby Blade.
him and Adrian Alexander's my trainers. That's how I learned how to wrestle.
Yep.
And
That's
if you
one
take,
thing I will say, man. I wish people did it more often, especially for the shows that don't like record their own shit. If you have someone that can record your match,
Yeah,
hell, even if you don't post it ever,
yeah.
it's just something for you to actually study and like, oh, I could have done this better. That could have
Right.
been timed out a little bit better on my
Yeah.
part. I still do that shit to this day, man. Like I'll record it. There's a lot of matches I have not posted
Yeah.
just because I'm like, that could have been a little smoother. That could have been a little bit
Yep.
more sharp. Whatever. You have to study your own craft.
that's like with
Yeah.
Jake Ratliff recently.
Jacob Ratliff.
During his ladder match wars, he wanted the video because he wanted to see if he really did hurt Noah Bell when he did a suplex into the ladder. He's
Yeah.
like, someone told me that I was doing it too rough. I'm like, okay, here's the footage. And I'm studying and I'm looking. I'm like, that doesn't look no.
That guy
harder than what
just that
Noah
guy
Bell
seems
has
like he
done.
just gets a little too excited to be in there.
Jacob Ratliff.
Have you wrestled him?
No, I have not.
Jacob Ratliff. He's a.
That could be a good little match right
Yeah,
Yeah,
one of
Oh
my
yes, hard hitter.
one of my favorite matches of last year was Dwayne Davis and Jacob
Jacob
Ratliff.
Ratliff. Good
Suplex on
Lord,
that
dog.
outside.
I think
Man,
that was the
they
first or
suplexed-
second show. I forget
One of them
which
got suplexed on the fucking.
Jacob.
It was Dwayne Davis.
Davis took the suplex on the floor.
Dwayne's a good wrestler. I
Dwayne
think.
Davis. I give no fucks.
Have you been inside ring with Dwayne Davis yet?
That actually was my debut match for EWA in
Nice.
back in Frankfurt.
Yes,
yeah.
it
I
was.
remember
I
that
forgot
now.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. The funniest thing with Dwayne though, what was it?
Nuts.
I gave him I think a Falcon Zero, and all I'm hearing is like, I'm like, okay, something's off there.
Did I stiff him or?
So,
did I,
yeah, like- We finished the match. I beat him with the spear, and I look away for maybe no more than 5 seconds. I look back, he's gone. I later found out he went under the ring and threw up.
Oh, wow.
man.
And he's like, yeah, I almost forgot I threw up back under the ring. I'm about to tell Adrian about that. I was like, what was it?
That's who that
man.
was. I had to clean that shit up.
Did you really?
I was working the Yeah, no, he did it. Damn it, D. Davis.
Good job,
Because nobody
Sean.
said anything.
Did he
Yeah, he totally
pimp?
forgot. He left and he's getting in his car. He's like, oh, shit.
Did he pimp
Might as well
because
let
he
him know.
hadn't done any cardio for a while?
Dude, so I
Possibly.
think he actually was, I can't remember what it was. I think he was just getting over being sick, actually.
Yeah, that could
Oh.
have been it.
Yeah,
That's
so
the worst.
I think. So he's already kind of feeling weird before the match, and it was like, all right, you know, some of my matches I do get carried away. I'm like, this is gonna be an easy match, and then you get back and the guy's out of breath, or he's like, shit, you took it a little crazy out there, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a few people that, dude, they've thrown up, they've almost shit themselves in the ring.
Yep. Our guy Chucky Smooths will bring
It's
that
happened
that
before.
it's happened to
It's
him
happened
before.
Hey man, like
Steve Austin did it once in a match.
Yep.
He faced Yokozuna.
I heard that, man.
Took a Samoan drop, shit himself. They go, oh, I just hit myself.
And that's
And
the
they
worst.
said, what do we want to do? He said, let's go home. He finished the match.
Hey, guys out there, if anybody's out there watching, if you got any questions for
Kris Krow.
Chris Krow, let us
Comments.
comment.
There is one actually because I remember seeing it. It's
Going
from
up, Johnny.
it's from Robert Morrow.
Morrow.
He said this. He said, "I tell you a good match for you, Kris Krow. Kris Krow versus Anthony Katina."
Oh, Anthony
That'd be a
Kina's
good
good.
Yeah, man, I've seen some of his
Now,
work.
why were you saying that like you were trash talking just now?
Yeah.
I mean, it
Like that tone.
It sounded like it.
Johnny's dying to be somebody's manager.
Or something, man.
Man, but yeah, I mean, I've seen some of his stuff. He did a lot of stuff for New South.
an LA.
Hey, thanks for tuning in, Leland.
Man, I think me and him would do some shit. I see he's doing some big stuff up in Florida and everything. I think that'd be a good match too.
Heck yeah, it would be. Because Anthony Katina is one of those guys that can go.
Yeah, man.
And from looking at him, he's able to get the crowd so pissed off that it felt like they wanted to kill Anthony Katina at New South that night.
Yeah, man. Dude,
Yeah, yeah.
If you can, that's the crazy part, man. Like, especially if you're heel. Like, I did the Caverna Super Show back in March of this year. And, dude, I had some of them people ready to fight. Like, I had some big country boy, like, he had to get kicked out because he was trying to jump the rail.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, man.
Who'd you have your
We
match
watched
against? Who was
match.
that? Who was his match against?
Chase?
It was
Chase.
Chase Stevens.
Yeah, yeah.
Chase Stevens
I
is
remember-
so
yeah, I
fucking
remember.
funny, dude.
Yeah.
You had a suplex that happened on the outside. He throws you over the guardrail. Jim Wallace coming in like, hey, let's get me out of y'all. Y'all move away, trying to get y'all to get back
I'd
over.
love to have that guy come in the podcast. I was talking shit to him, and me and him was talking shit to each other in the back.
He was trying to show me the super kick position. He's like never super kick guy side belly button. I always go up top.
Yeah,
And
that
that's the
guy's
thing,
fun.
like, man, dude, the funny thing was we went out there and we beat the shit out of each other. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
some of them shots was some of the hardest hits I've ever taken.
Yep, I know.
And
Like,
some of the kicks I gave him was like, I was like, I'm laying them in. I was
oh
like,
hell yeah,
If we're going to do this, we're going to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, man.
Like, I knew that y'all were hard hitting because when y'all were outside and he
That was a great
punched you
match.
inside stomach, you did something like fuck.
He threw you
Yeah.
over the. Did he
He
throw you
turned
over the
around and-
guardrail or something?
and
Wasn't
he
supposed
got
to.
He went to, and I reversed him. He went over.
Yeah, he went
Oh.
over. Yeah.
And man, that dude's crazy. He'll
That
take
dude's
any
nuts.
bump out of nowhere, man. He like straight up landed on his back or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
Terry's got something for you. He said, Chris blew Dwayne Davis and Tyler Logan up so bad back in early 2024 in Ferguson, Kentucky, in a triple threat that Logan just stood at ringside. At least Dwayne Davis tried to stay in there. Chris and Drew Dillinger had a good match last night. Heck
dude,
yeah.
dude, Drew Dillinger. That's the first time I ever faced him one on one.
Last night you faced him last night.
Yeah, in Monticello.
That's another badass right there.
Okay.
Dude, for a heavier set dude, he can go. And a lot.
Yep.
He's
dude,
incredible, dude.
A lot of heavy guys don't get their flowers, man. They don't get the credit. But when they go in that ring, they can go.
He's
Zach.
lost weight too.
Yeah.
But he was still
Also
incredible
former-
when he was big.
Yep, and he's a former Generation X Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion.
Dude, when he was down there, he was killing it down there. He was fucking incredible, even if it's bigger size.
Yeah, man.
He's an incredible wrestler. He really is.
Like, man, we had the crowd going the whole match, and if the match, that's the kind of matches I love when you have some kind of reaction every second. We never had them dying or anything. They always stayed up with it. There were some people I watched out the corner of my eye. They were still on their feet, just like really anxious of like what's about to happen next.
I wish we lived
Exactly.
closer to UCW and those guys, man. I wish I could go to their stuff way more often. AEMW. I wish we could go to that stuff more
They got
often.
some great crowds.
Yeah.
They do. They got some great crowds, man. When I went to Caverna, man, me and Johnny went to Caverna down there. We've been there 2 years in a row.
Yep.
Incredible crowds, incredible, and the
Let's make it
wrestlers
3.
are always so inviting to us. Like the everybody was so cool to me except for Joe Monroe.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know what his problem is. With
Apparently
us.
they pay. Apparently Joe Monroe was working the show and they made him buy tickets.
Oh,
Because he's asking me, "Did you have to buy a ticket?" I'm like, "Joe, no, I was invited to come and cover this."
by Terry himself. He goes,
We
"Look,
got to do a third year.
I think I think people take Terry England way too serious sometimes.
Hey,
He tries to get me to buy him a water, one of his own waters from him every time.
I mean, come on, Andy. It's the least you could do for
He's so
a
funny,
swell
dude.
guy.
He's like, "Hey, hey, go get me one of those waters. They're only $2." Leave the $2 in the cooler.
That's your water,
Yeah.
ain't it? He's like,
Go buy me one of my own waters, you fucking
said 2
asshole.
bottles will be those little bottled waters that are about
oh
that
yeah,
damn big.
man.
He
I've
was
heard
like,
some stories back
get-
now.
oh my
oh
god.
yes.
He charged Jerry Lawler for a cup of coffee. Told him, help yourself to a cup of coffee, and said, okay, that's $1 out of your payoff or whatever. So I'm like, what the hell?
Terry England is the man.
Terry's awesome.
He is. We love you, Terry.
I want to get Terry. Terry, if
Hey,
you're
I'm working
listening,
on that.
we got to get you in the studio.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we always got Brandon T. Wilson coming in here. That's
Yep.
November 20th.
Yeah.
And then we got, at that, Gaston LaRue.
Jimmy's been here, 3 times now, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy comes all the time. We
Jimmy
couldn't hardly
Walls,
get him
ready
here,
to
and
He's
then
going to be here a 4th time once I get him.
we couldn't
Bobby
get him here, and then he finally came, and he's like, they love it. Like, if you think an opposite of, like, you ain't going to like it, you're going to fucking love coming here. It's just everybody
There was
does.
some-
Yep.
Yeah, man, that's the thing. It's like I've been wanting to come here for like,
Yeah.
you guys been trying to make this happen actually for about 8 months to 10 months.
Something like
Yep.
that.
Ever
Yeah.
since we first thought saw you wrestling, man, I think. I've always wanted to
Probably
keep
get you
doing
and
2022.
Hoodrich, but it's just
The schedule, man, is
The
just
schedule.
crazy.
Yeah,
But,
you're all
That's
you're
why I'm
busy.
so glad that it happened today.
Yeah, man. Cause I was like, man, I'm in Monticello. We're staying the night anyways. Might as well get that open again.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm digging it out. I'm digging what you guys are doing here in the podcast, the studio.
We're trying, man. You know, we're trying to do our thing. You know, we got a small crew, but we're trying to do our thing. We try to keep the podcast studio going. I'm busy, you know, being a grandpa and a husband and a fucking dad and
I literally do the
UPS driver and you know.
yeah, he's Superman. He's
I do
everywhere.
the
Paying the-
flyer making.
I got
the-
2 jobs.
I take care of the bills around here, pay the bills, and you know, and make sure the place is running. You know.
Yep.
And I was able to set up the whole NWA month by talking to Bear.
Oh, that was
that was a
that
hell
was
of a
you
month
and
that
Bear
we got.
all around.
We
We'll
got
bring-
the
like,
old school.
We got
legends
so
in
much
there.
support. No, we don't hardly get any negativity about this.
Yeah, man.
Nobody's ever saying any shit about us. Nobody's ever talking shit about us. There's
And
a
if they
couple
do,
people.
we shut them in there. There was another guy that was a podcaster. I'm going to bring him up. Fuck it. I don't give a damn. And because he kept saying, like, oh, I love this podcast guy. And Maverick. Keaton. Fuck him.
This guy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What your mama said.
you
No.
got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Which one is it? This one?
anyway,
Oh, this guy.
That one.
Yeah.
you
got-
guys go on your little rinky-dink bullshit podcast.
What he did was, because one day he was talking like, yeah, I'm going to join you guys. I like you guys. But yet he would always jump in. He wouldn't say nothing about Andy. He wouldn't say nothing about me. He would
Talk shit
all the
about
time
Johnny.
talk shit about Johnny. Now, Johnny...
Johnny will kick your ass.
Johnny don't give a fuck.
You talk shit about Johnny. Johnny will fight you. You better watch out.
Johnny will
He might
take
not
2
like
knees
beat
and
you
knock
up
your
or
ass
nothing,
out.
but like you're gonna have to fight Johnny if you talk shit about him.
And this isn't a dig on you by any means, Johnny, but Johnny does he works hard and he's proud of it, and when somebody denies it, Johnny does get a little butthurt. Not like negative butthurt, but it does hurt his feelings.
Yeah, man.
Because he really works hard at developing his persona. And it's just Johnny took it bad. So Johnny will never like the guy. And the guy was a long time old school friend of mine. But I've seen his true colors and I've cut ties with him, but he would always bet. He'd come on the show. He'd call into the show. I managed to get him here one night. It was the night of Sting's last
When
match.
we first started doing this, he actually booked himself on the show.
Yeah, he said, I'll be
and
there on
was
this
coming.
day.
I was like, okay, you're
Cool.
coming. I'll book you on the show.
He said,
and
if you guys want to
he
plug
never
it, you
showed
can.
up. And I was like, that's the end of you, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Hey, read that comment that Terry just said to Johnny.
Yeah, what did Terry just say?
All right, reading it now. You got a feature star in the studio now, and Kris Krow. I called that his first year in. I appreciate you all keeping indie wrestling in the news in Kentucky.
All right, man.
We
Terry,
appreciate
I
you
appreciate
too,
that.
Terry.
Thanks, Terry.
Yeah, man, Terry. I think it was.
You guys don't know who Terry England is. He is the owner of
Ultimate Championship Wrestling.
promoter, Ultimate Championship Wrestling, the
Yeah.
longest running
And-
wrestling promotion in Kentucky.
And don't listen to those jacklegs that try to say there's another UCW, because
They're probably
UCW Kentucky is the one to go to.
Yeah.
Ultimate
Yes.
Championship Wrestling.
There's one in Michigan,
Yep.
yeah.
which those guys are pretty good guys. They call it Bay City, though, is what they
Bay
call
City.
them.
Well, it used to be UCW. I think Terry put a stop to that.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
'cause Terry
Robert
is
Mara
the
goes,
man.
what is your greatest memory out of the hundreds upon hundreds you've had in your career, Chris?
What's the top memory?
That's a tough one.
Ooh, that is. Shit. Honestly, with the shit I've been doing lately, man, I would say the last years has been probably the best time of my career.
Heck yeah.
There's so
Yeah.
many that we could sit here all day and talk about them, but man, like anytime I win a title, man, it's like it feels like the first time.
Yeah.
all
Yep.
over again.
It's a reward for all your hard work.
Yeah, man, and hell, like I'll say this last Saturday when we did the hardcore match, the swanton through the table. You know, I'm laying there, and I'm just hearing the holy shit. I'm hearing the EWA chant. I'm hearing
Yep.
Kris Krow chants. I'm like, that's probably one of the top moments for sure, because that's always what I've wanted to hear. That just that one chant. It could be a holy shit. It can be a Kris Krow chant. It could be something. But I always wanted that kind of chant to happen. You know, and I think I've gotten a "This is awesome" chant a couple times throughout my career, but man, we had them at that hardcore match, and you know,
Oh, yeah.
that peak of the
When I heard them
atmosphere.
saying Kris Krow, EWA, I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
he got them.
Yeah,
They're
man.
hooked.
You
That's
got
the
him
thing,
right there.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing with my mindset now, man. It's like I'm enjoying what I'm doing now. I don't feel like I'm slowing down. I will say it here. I do only see, because I don't want to be one of those guys where they overstay their welcome.
Yep.
And you know, the guys that do it for like 20, 30 years, and they're just not doing what they used to, and it's like a shell almost.
Yeah.
And that's no knock on anybody, but like, I don't want to be that guy.
Exactly.
So like right now, what you guys see, the style I'm giving, the new school you can say, and doing the old school here and there, but what I'm doing right now, I don't want to be like 10 years down the road where I'm just doing a quarter of it now. I never want to be a shell of who I used to be. I don't want people to like, man, Kris Krow used to be the shit. He used to be the man, but now it's like, he's still there, you know. I never want that to happen. So yeah, I could see myself probably doing this for another 8 to 10 years where I want to. But after that, I think my body is just kind of getting to the point where it's like, it's time to chill out a little bit.
Yep.
What's your age right now?
I'm 25 right now.
Nice.
Young.
Yeah, man. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of people think I'm close to 30, you know, 28, 29. But no, yeah, I started, I think, when I was 19, 19, 20, somewhere in there.
Nice.
But yeah, man, I'm 25. So I'm thinking about 34, 35. Unless, you know, of course, I get signed or something. But,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think that's when I'm about to hang it up. Because I do feel like this last year is like the beginning of like what I've really been wanting to do, and
Yeah.
really getting my gears in check and what I think my character can go. But yeah, man, about 8 to 10 more years, I could feel like my body can do what I want it to do. But out of them 8 to 10 years, I got a lot more to prove, got a lot more to give. A lot of dream matches that I want to come true. There's a lot of dream matches I want to come true in the next year.
What are your dream matches that you want to happen in the next year?
I'll say that within the next year, I'll definitely say me and Omega's got to tear it up in a singles match. That's just going to have to be a given.
If there's any promoters out there, book some of these matches now.
Yeah, man. Me, Omega, me and Aaron Rose actually talked about this months back. Me and Myron Reed, that match has to happen.
Myron
Yes,
Reed?
it does.
And that can happen anywhere. I'm cool with whatever. Let's see, man. I'll say those two people are like the top of the notch right now because they're doing such a fucking good-ass job with what they're doing. And I think they're becoming the top dogs in wherever they go.
Yep.
Like I said, Blake Christian, and there's another one. That dude's just, he's killing it everywhere he's going.
Write this down, promoters.
Who's that?
Oh, Blake Christian, he's the GCW heavyweight champion.
Okay.
I believe he still is, I believe. But yeah, man, those are the three that I'm just ready to get in there just to test some waters, see where we're at, like with my style and combining with their styles and stuff. But yeah, man, a few of those guys definitely want to get within the next year because a couple of them I face, you know, 6-man tags and stuff, but you never really get that full-on experience except that one-on-one match. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if there's any promoters listening, they should definitely
Terry.
jot these down
Yeah.
and book them. Because
Yeah.
Omega and you, that's going to be a hard hitter.
oh, definitely.
And Blake Christian, you, that's a tear up right there.
Definitely, man. Hell, man. And that was like, I've gotten to like where my career is now is like, I treat every show, like I said earlier, every show, every match, like it's like my last. I want the crowd to be like, holy shit, that was it. Like the past Saturday, you know, the holy shit moments and stuff like that. That big reaction, that atmosphere, that's what I want every single show. Hell, it happened last night.
Heck
You
yeah.
know, the crazy part, it kind of goes back into the point I was making earlier. I was full on heel. I come out through the curtain, everybody's on their feet cheering. You know,
Yep.
it's
You're undeniable.
man. I feel that way. I feel like it's time where promoters are finally seeing, hey, this guy's the real shit.
Yeah,
He's the real deal.
Exactly.
So I'm definitely trying to get on some new shows. I know Grindhouse is sooner or later in the future, for sure. I want to get up in North Carolina a little bit. I've seen they're doing some good stuff up there. But yeah, man, there's a lot of people that's been trying to book me and everything. It's just like, okay, now it's finally taking off to where I want it to go. But yeah, man, it feels like everything's going my way now.
Yeah. Well, you can definitely tell them to watch this. It'll be on YouTube, Spotify. You can go back on Facebook and watch it too. We'll be everywhere with this podcast. So we were live on Instagram today too.
Yep.
So everybody out there that's watching, if you missed any of this, go back on YouTube and watch it. You can go. It will be probably posted to Spotify sometime this week, probably Wednesday. And at this point, we've been doing this almost 2 hours now. Got about 10 more minutes. Johnny, you got anything else to add?
I just want to say that it's been a pleasure to have Kris Krow finally inside the studio.
You want to ask him any more questions? Got one more question to probably ask.
I got one more.
Sean,
for
you got
sure.
anything?
I'll come up with it.
Do
Any-
you think in the near future will you and Ethan Hire go down?
Oh.
I'll tell you this, I'll make sure as hell is going down within the next 6 months.
Who is it? Ethan?
Ethan Hire.
Oh, yeah.
I will push that match until it actually happens.
Read what Terry just said there, Johnny.
I will, brother. I will. All right. That's what Terry said. No, we don't always have good crowds, but we do the promoters part. We have advertised within the budget, but no promotion can always hit a home run. Heck, there are about 80 UCWs. I'm not sure I was one of the first, but definitely one of them. When I started, you couldn't just Google it, laugh out loud. a lady who used to work in the office at the commission told me we were the longest running indie promotion in Kentucky. Basically, we've continuously run since April 4th, 1997 in Kentucky. But I'm not even sure about that. Some current promotions have been around longer. They just weren't running in Kentucky. Who knows? Teaser alert, Kris and I were talking about possibly in 2025 UCW might have Kris Krow versus Matt Riddle. Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Okay, well, I'm sure
Y'all heard it on the Nice Guy Andy podcast first. Kris Krow versus Matt Riddle may be happening at UCW next year.
Yes,
That's
sir.
going to be a hard hitter, too.
Oh, definitely, man. And I will say it here. There, certain OVW might become undeniable in the very near future.
Oh, okay, I was going to ask you about OVW.
OVW.
Yeah, man. I got hit up a few weeks ago, and it's whenever I have a Thursday open.
Really?
Oh,
Okay. We'll definitely be up there for your first match up there. If let us know, please. We'll
sure,
come
yeah.
up there and check that out.
yeah.
Please let us know when you're going to be up there. As soon as possible. That way we can make plans to get up there. We can't always get up to Louisville. We love OVW just like we love all the other promotions in Kentucky.
All wrestling.
But we don't get up there as much as we can. Guys, go check out the OVW podcast if you guys want to know anything about OVW. Those guys are our friends. They're in Lexington, Kentucky here, and hopefully we'll have them on our
we definitely
podcast
gotta
at
get
some
them in.
point. Those guys are awesome.
They're like the stuck in stat guys.
OVW guys, OVW always they invite us. You know, we're friends of theirs. We like those guys. So, Sean, you got anything to add?
I was thinking Ethan Heyer and Kris Krow in the future for that Heritage title, but Johnny already beat me to it. Great minds think alike, Johnny.
Yep.
I think I don't even need to ask the question. I know your only limit's your imagination, so you got a great mindset for the business. Dustin James, what's up, buddy?
You the man, Dustin.
Thanks for
What's
chiming
up, Dustin?
in.
He said, "What's up, Chris?"
What's
I want
going
to
on?
thank everybody that's chimed in with the comments, with questions, comments, concerns for Kris Krow, brother. Thank you for coming in, man. It's been a
Appreciate it.
while. Hopefully this ain't the last time.
Never know.
Let's see.
I will finish it off like this, man. What you guys seen so far, it's nothing compared to what I have
Ooh.
ready for the future.
Okay.
Can't
You know,
wait.
2024 is going to end with a bang, but 2025, like you just heard from Terry, it's about to be a crazy
James
year.
Kendrick also just chimed in. He says, "Anytime you want to throw down, he's down."
Let's do it.
Yes,
Let's do
sir.
it.
He's so underrated, man. He don't
really
get
is.
the flowers that he deserves.
He was Andy's trainer.
He was. He's a good guy, man. I seen him at. I went up to TNA up in Louisville there, and I just looked over, and there he was, and I was like, "What's up, man?" So we chopped it up for a few minutes, but I love seeing James Kendrick anytime I run into him. Guys, this is going to come to the end of our podcast, our special Sunday podcast with Kris Krow. Superfly Johnny Lee's with us. Sean Johns.
I am.
Guys, go over to the Facebook page, like, share, comment on the comments.
Subscribe. It's only $1 a month. People.
Follow us, please. If you're not following us, please follow us. Go over to the YouTube channel if you have a YouTube.
Subscribe to us on YouTube.
And subscribe to us on YouTube. We're up to like 2,000 some subscribers over there. We do have Spotify too, so if you guys do miss any of our podcasts, they're all on Spotify.
Especially from the last couple months all the way to last week's show.
Yeah.
You can catch it now.
They're all
on Spotify.
They're all on YouTube, guys. Just go to YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, but yeah, YouTube. All of our everything we've ever done is on fucking YouTube. So, guys, if you do miss something, you want to go back. We've had so many local wrestlers on. We've had them on a few times. This is the first time we've had Kris on, and we appreciate you, Kris, for coming in.
I appreciate you guys having me.
You're a hell of a star. You're a hell of an athlete. Hopefully, we'll get you back in here at some point again when you're up here anytime soon. Richmond's just right down the road, so
For sure,
Yep.
for sure, yeah.
so
Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys having me. I know we've tried to get this done like within the year, but yeah, it's definitely, like Johnny said, it's definitely the right time right now.
tell everybody your social medias and where we can see you wrestle, where we can find out where you're wrestling, who you've been wrestling for, and what you got coming up.
Yeah, man, you can follow me on Facebook at just Kris Krow. Same thing with Instagram.
Kris with a K.
K with a K.
Yep.
Krow
so
with
many
the K.
So many people ruin that.
And no H.
Yeah, no H. So, man, Instagram, Facebook's all pretty much the same, but next weekend I got a couple shows up in Tennessee, but I'll be back in Kentucky very soon. I know EWA's on the 9th of November. I'll definitely there. I'm still waiting for an answer from Zodiac. But, yeah, man, a lot of shows up in Kentucky is coming up, a couple shows in Tennessee, but, yeah, that's it, man. 2025, though, you guys need to get ready for that. Buckle up for that.
Yeah,
It's
we
about to
Oh
be
man,
another
that's
ride.
going to be incredible. UCW always delivers.
Definitely.
That in EWA.
So if you're not having fun,
You're not getting none.
Damn Skippy.
Yeet, yeet.
Nice Guy Andy Podcast. Skullface Records Radio.
That ain't what your mama said.
He keeps popping off at the mouth. I'm gonna be his daddy.
Ooh, yeah!
those were expensive shoes. You know,
Yeah, they were.
That diamond is custom made.
This is a Zodiac, and I'm telling you now, meditate, elevate, and dominate. Do it with the Nice Guy Indie Podcast.
Go ahead.
Watch the Nice Guy Andy podcast.
Anyways, you guys go on your little rinky-dink bullshit podcast.